Peace, peace, peace. Shout out to everybody in the building. My fault. I was supposed to start a little bit earlier today. I try to start at like around 6 and 7, but things happen. I got work, got other things to do. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. I'm starting now. And I just saw something that I want to touch on. I just saw it just now. Just now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Kenny Johnson. Shout out to the visionary. You already know BYB. Shout out to Jackie. Good evening. Shout out to that I can't even say this name. I don't know if this is a name. Too many letters. Can't really see, but peace God. Shout out to the Hood Mistress. Shout out to Baka. Shout out to Damu. Oh, my Cash App is I'm putting it in the chat right now. I'm putting it in the chat right now. And oh yeah, shout out to somebody. I don't know who you are. And again, I don't know if you want me to say your name. You sent me some money on Cash App. Much appreciated. Thank you. So whoever you are, if you're in the building, thank you. Make sure I thank you again later. I'm gonna keep pushing that. Thank you. And I gotta make sure and if anybody, if y'all see somebody named Emmanuel come in the building, let me know, because I was meaning to give him a shout out. I gave him a shout out, but I don't think he was in the building to get the shout out. But I want to make sure I properly shout everybody out. But how's everybody doing? Oh, what was that? What was that? That was crazy. Shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I dropped the Cash App in there, Damu. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, we about to get started with this. I just saw this just now. It's Charleston White, the bozo, like trying to grift the FBA movement. Mind you, a movement he was just attacking. He's trying to grift it now. I have not watched this video, but it just came across my thing because I was about to check my my Twitter or whatever the case may be. But yeah, let's get into that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into this now. Yeah, we got a good amount of people in the building. So yeah, let's start. Shout out to everybody in the building. RBG for the win. Oh, shout out to Stoic J in the building. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the building. Oh, shout out to East Coast Kev in the building. Family, make sure y'all liking the stream. Make sure y'all support the stream any way y'all can. Any way y'all can. Monetarily, getting a membership, hitting that join button, gifting a membership, sending a gift, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. I take it all. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Super thanks. Super sticker. Super chat. I take it all. And if you ain't got no money to support, you know what to do. You can hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, drop a comment, hit that reaction heart. Just participate in the stream. I'm outside the algorithm. So help me get back in it. Because I got a strike on my channel because these people be having me under attack. Shout out to Damu. Shout out to Damu Dino. He said he sent 25. Let me see. Yeah, you did. Shout out to you, bro. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Thank you. You set it off. You set it off. You set it off properly. Thank you. But yeah, let me set this off properly. You set it off properly. But now let me set this off properly. Let me see where we at. Let me get to this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see. Dang. And family, let me know if the internet get choppy, because I called my company and I was talking to them, like my neighbors and stuff. They said their internet is choppy too. So if this get choppy, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. If this get choppy, let me know. Because look, I hope it's not getting choppy right now.
my skin?
Here we go. Let me see. Make sure. Let me see. Sure everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is straight. Yeah. So let's get to this. Let's get to this right now. Let's get to this. Let's go. Tell me if you can hear it. Put one in the chat if you can hear it.
I'm Jamaican.
You ain't black.
Then what am I?
Jamaican.
I'm black.
You Jamaican.
No.
You Jamaican.
It's a difference, huh?
It's a difference.
Okay, describe the difference.
If I go to your...
What color is my skin? What color is my skin?
Yellow.
Okay, and it...
Look at Charleston White. See? Look at Charleston White. A total grifter, one-eyed bozo, a misleader. Like Charleston White is the definition of a misleader. There are people in jail right now that Charleston White led them to that jail cell. That he even said out his own mouth, those people didn't have nobody, the family didn't care about them, and they were slow. He misled a bunch of slow people into jail. He got them to do a bunch of crimes that they didn't even want to do, that they didn't even fully understand what they was doing. Because again, they were slow. And when they got caught, Charleston White blamed everything on them and got them put in jail while he got out. Can't make this up. Oh, shout out to Milton for coming through for with the 10. Family, make sure y'all shout out everybody who's supporting the stream. Make sure y'all shout out everybody who's supporting the stream. So make sure y'all shout out Don Moo for coming through on the Cash App, and shout out Milton for coming through with the super chat. I appreciate you too, bro. I appreciate you too. But yeah, this is where the dumb stuff come from. This is where it come from. He got this from FBA. He's a total grifter. You was attacking FBA, but now you're using the FBA talking points to attack other people because you see like, oh, I could get some clout. This is some easy clout. Because again, he may be not as smart as people think he is, but he's smarter than the average person who follow him. But yeah, let's get back to this.
Derived from?
Even white derived from black. Even white derived from...
Also, I meant to say, he just said, when she asked what color am I, he said yellow. So light-skinned people ain't black no more? Inquiring minds want to know. He just said, when she said, oh, I'm not black, so what color am I? He said yellow. So yellow bones ain't black no more? Light-skinned people not black no more? Anybody, what y'all doing, the brown paper bag test in reverse? Anybody lighted in a brown paper bag is not black no more? Because that's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me. But yeah, let's keep this going.
Black. All colors in the color spectrum come from the color black. But
come on, Mo. You just regurgitating some bullshit right now. Oh man, I curse. You just regurgitating some nonsense. You talking about all colors on the color spectrum come from black. We talking about race. You talking about black in terms of race. What are you talking about the color spectrum? What are you talking about the color spectrum? Who cares about the color spectrum? We talking about race. This is the type of pseudo talk that you could only pass off in these spaces. Only pass off in these spaces. And again, shout out to Damu for coming through on his Cash App. Shout out to Milton for coming through on this on a super chat, helping me hit my goal. He set it off for the goal. Let's go.
Y'all have been classified as Jamaicans. We still haven't been identified nor classified. We were just given a color.
When I fill out a paperwork here in the States, it doesn't say Jamaican anywhere.
But black is not a person. That's not a noun.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of an adjective, isn't it? Well, how can you describe me as being black? You have a name. You're Jamaican.
You're American.
Well, I'm black American.
Okay, I'm black Jamaican.
It don't say that. You're making something up now.
You're the one making stuff up. Look, you're not even coherent. Like, this is people, big homies. This is the person who done said all this weirdo, disrespectful stuff that people still insist that people listen to him because, he just saying that to get attention. Oh, yeah, you gotta eat the meat and spit out the bones. Oh, a broken clock is right twice a day. Oh, he the one who helping us reach the youth. This is the bozo right here that these people be talking about. This dude right here, Charleston White, he not even coherent. What is he even talking about? What is he talking about? He's not even coherent, bro. He's not even coherent. But we're gonna let him finish babbling. And also, I'm happy to say in the comment section, because again, this is a clip he put on his own Twitter page. And in the comment section, people roasting him. So he getting roasted in his own comment section. That's how stupid this is. But I'm gonna let him finish talking. I'm gonna let him finish going.
It don't say that.
I'm happy that they laughed at him.
Paperwork, we have to check something. When you go back home, you don't check nothing. You're automatic Jamaican.
Right.
I'm not automatic American. I'm automatic black. Black people aren't American. We had to be given American rights. When we say black, we talking us.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all ain't us. Don't y'all got Jamaican food?
Yes.
Don't y'all have a Jamaican culture?
Yes.
We don't.
You have an American culture.
What's
Texas? In Texas, you have soul food.
What's
barbecue?
That's our culture.
Mm-hmm.
Black slaves didn't barbecue. Slaves didn't barbecue.
Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with the 5. Yeah, she lightweight cooking him. I thought she was just gonna agree with what he's saying. He don't even know what he's saying. Because now he arguing that black people in America don't got a culture. Now we not, you already said we not American and we don't have a culture. Is FBA gonna go after him for saying this? No. In fact, the FBA bozos is gonna co-sign him because all they're gonna do is see the headline of him telling the Jamaican lady she not black, and they're gonna just go with it. Can't make this up. Can't. Let's keep this going.
Slaves didn't create that. Soul food, pig intestines, pig feet.
So what did slaves used to eat?
The slop that their masters gave them, like the dogs, what you would give your dogs. That's what they ate. And that became part of what we ate. So you say that's our culture.
No.
Come on, don't do us like that, please.
No.
I understand you play devil's advocate, but no.
Oh, he just shitted on soul. Oh man, I cursed again. He just did it on soul food. Like he said, soul food ain't our culture. The funny thing about that, a lot of people do see it that way. A lot of people don't try to do. A lot of black people in America, for all you don't know, don't want to be associated with soul food. Well, what we call soul food, because remember, soul food is an umbrella term, so a lot of stuff fall under soul food. But a lot of like the core soul food, people don't want to be associated with it because they say that's slave food. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's not my culture. That's nothing. That's slave food. We beyond that. So for all you don't know, when he said that part about that's our culture, the slave food, he not necessarily wrong on that one. As in, there are a lot of black people who see it that way. There are a lot of black people who see it that way. So I gotta keep it real. That part, he not so wrong about.
Nobody in this world have been done like the person, not the African. See, this is what people forget. It was a small portion of Africans who was transported over here and was made to be slaves. It was a small portion. The rest was created and bred. They had slave form, but they bred this because slave.
Oh, he's right about that. There was a small group of black people, a matter of fact, small and relative to other places that were brought to America, and they were bred. That's how we got so many. America, the breeding farms, and especially in Virginia and Maryland, got so big, and there was so many, and they got so good at breeding black people that it tricked that they was able to create a domestic slave trade, where you would have plantation owners coming from Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, all these places traveling all the way to Virginia. Matter of fact, the people who was transporting the slaves did the traveling. They would travel from those places to Virginia, to Maryland, and then bring the enslaved down the Mississippi and then sell them in the Gulf Coast. It triggered its own. The breeding farms was so big that it triggered its own domestic slave trade. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm having problems talking right now. It triggered its own domestic slave trade. So he's not wrong about that part neither. The funny part is when the indigenous bozos be like, oh, they only brought about like 400,000 slaves to America. I mean, excuse me, Africans to America. So how did they go from 400,000 to us being 50 million now? It's like one bozo, 50 million now number includes anybody black in America. Two, and then they'll be like, well, what about from the start of slavery when they said the 400,000 to the end was about 4 million? How did they get that big? Easy. Breeding farms. Do you know how many kids a woman can have in her life? If you start saying like from 16, and we're going to say you want to have a kid at least once every 2 years. Do you know how many kids the average woman can produce if you do something like that? If you lay it down like that, if you put it down like that? That's how the number got so big. That's how it got so big. Shout out to McKinsley for setting it off for itself with the Canadian too. I just saw that. Thank you. Much appreciated. Make sure y'all shouting out McKinsley. Make sure y'all shouting out Milton, East Coast Kev. Also, Damu. Make sure y'all shouting these brothers out. They coming through. But yeah, let's let Charleston White finish up.
International slavery was only legal for a small amount of time before the world said, no, stop this. So America kept saying, fuck y'all, we ain't finna stop this. They started making slaves, right? So the first generation of Africans who came over here to be slaves, they wasn't niggers. They was Africans. The ones who was born from the Africans, right? The ones who was forced to have sex and sleep with this one, those that was born on this land under slavery, into slavery, they were niggers. Them wasn't black people. Them was niggers. They was called nigger. Come here, nigga.
Okay, he making a little bit sense, but he's not smart enough to articulate what he's trying to articulate. Because I always did call America the nigger making factory. So yeah. This, again, a little bit more truth to that, but he can't articulate it right. And he's not smart enough to try to articulate the point neither. So he don't got the language nor the intelligence to make the point he's trying to make right now.
Shut up, nigga. Fuck you doing around here, nigga? He didn't have a name. So those people never thought to go back to Africa. They didn't know no language. So those seeds, we are not African seeds. We don't have no African bloodline other than what the white boy have. We was born to slaves. Nobody else was done that. And nobody else was done how those people was done.
All right, that's over. I'm happy that's over. Like, come on now, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Irvin Palmer. Yes, Jamaica is 90% black. But again, when they try to make this they ain't black argument, they're not smart enough to make the argument. Remember, and they're not even making it the correct way. Like I've heard people in the past try to make the understanding the conversation about certain other black people not actually being black, because in America, black refers to something specific. They tried to make the argument, but they always understood that was what it meant to them. They never said that's what it was. They said that's what it meant to them. These other bozos have totally remixed that argument and totally delegitimized it. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the building. Let me see. Exactly. I can't see your name. What is that? Is that not Feast Groovin'? I'm sorry. Is that not Feast or no Feast Groovin'? I can't see your name too good. But yeah. You're right. It wasn't uncommon to have a bunch of kids. It wasn't uncommon. My mother, they was looking at my mother like she only had a little bit of kids because she only had 4. She only had 4. My uncle had like 13 or something like that. Like that was super common. Super common. It ain't hard to like boost the population if everybody having 10 plus kids, 9 plus kids, 7 plus kids, 8 plus kids, 12 plus kids. Shout out to East Coast Cat for coming through with the double up. He not smart. Like I said, he not smart enough to make the argument that he trying to make. That's what it all come down to. He's grifting, and he's not smart enough to make the argument he's trying to make. It's obvious because normally you hear Charleston White, he can flow. But as you can see, he was stumbling over his words to the point where I started stumbling over my words. Yeah, we got to move on. Shout out to everybody in the building. Rob, what you talking about? Which white lefties bent the knee? Who did they bend the knee to? But speaking of that, let's go back to King Grifter, where he got this from. I have not watched this video, family. I have not watched this video at all. But we got to watch it and see right now what Tariq is talking about with this. Tariq destroys Pan-Africanist false history claims. Let's get into this. I have not watched this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
The Oru, hop on in, sir.
Yeah, last time you called me a tether. What is that exactly?
Now, I don't remember speaking with you last time. What did we talk about last time?
Because I was from Jacksonville, Florida, and you was telling me that I was my people. You didn't know, but you were saying I was.
Were you the teacher?
Exactly.
Okay, this was because you were talking about Carmelo deserved to go to prison because you sound like a tether. That's what tethers say. Tethers say shit like that.
Yeah.
Again, now tethers say stuff like that. What quote unquote tether said that Carmelo's supposed to go to the prison? Tariq, you just making stuff up. And also, this guy, he probably was also calling you a tether because you're from Florida. Remember, FBA originally wasn't claiming people from Louisiana, Florida, the Gullah Geechee, or New Yorkers. If you was part of one of those four places, they wasn't jacking you. And freemen added in Indian freemen. They wasn't if you was enslaved by Native Americans, they wasn't jacking you. That's what the freemen hate group added in. But you can't make this up. But let's keep it going.
Yeah, but he deserved consequences. I didn't think he was going to get 35 years for murder. I think
you were caping for white supremacists. The Metcalf family, a bunch of damn white supremacists, sir. So usually tethers cape for them, sir, because it ain't in our spirit to do that as foundational Black America.
No, what is a tether?
A tether is somebody like you who pretends to be of the lineage, but they're not. Most likely you're from the Bahamas or some shit. That your family is somewhere from the Caribbean.
No, my lineage.
See, that's why is Tariq so certain about that? Because he's from Florida. Remember, they used to attack people from Florida all the time, nonstop. All the time, nonstop. Shout out to Milton for doubling up with another 10. Oh, good night. Good night. Good night to Milton. Everybody say good night to Milton. He came through again. Shout out to you. Yeah, catch the playback, bro. Get some sleep. But let's keep it going.
My lineage takes back through Georgia, through Charleston, South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, exactly, through West Africa.
Through West Africa?
Through the transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
That's reality.
That's the reality?
That's the reality. And
what country in Africa are your family from?
We have no clue.
Right. Because we're foundational, sir.
So now Tariq is arguing against the transatlantic slave trade happening. You just heard him. I just put up a video of Tariq arguing with an Aboriginal who was saying that we don't have no African ancestry, and Tariq was going against that. Now this brother is talking about how his family, telling his family tree, going back all the way back to the transatlantic slave trade. And he asked him what country in Africa. And he said, I don't know. This is the right answer. Because there is no one country. And what did Tariq say? Well, you don't have no proof or something like that. You can't make this up. This guy's a total dweeb bozo.
Our lineage goes further than modern African nation states right now.
Okay. The issue is,
what's the issue, sir? Mr. Oru, what's going on with your phone, brother? Did you drop some bushmeat
from South Georgia?
You know,
he said his grandma was Native American.
Who?
Okay, that's true. A lot of Black folks.
Slow down. I don't know. Your phone went out, and I don't understand what you're saying. Now, who's from Florida? Who's from Georgia?
My grandfather.
Your grandfather's from Georgia.
From Georgia, exactly. And his grandmother is full-blooded Native American. So we know that there are plenty of African Americans, majority of African Americans that have Native American ancestry, just like we have some white ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
But to say that there's a whole.
You saw Tariq didn't dispute that. When the dude I said we got some white ancestry, Tariq did not dispute that at all. He did not dispute that at all. He didn't ask him what country. He didn't say how you know you got white ancestry. Where's the genealogy? What country? What country? You just said white ancestry. Do you take a DNA test? None of that. None of that. He didn't dispute anything. He didn't dispute anything that was just said just now. Nothing. Nothing. He disputed nothing. Oh, shout out to Justin March. He just came through and gifted 20 memberships. Family, this is my first moderator, Justin March. He just came through. He just gifted 20 memberships. If Justin March gifted you a membership, family, make sure you thank him and make sure you keep it going. Everybody need to thank him too. Salute him for all the support he's been showing over this whole time since I've been live streaming. Thank you. Always appreciate it. Always a pleasure to see you come through too. But yeah, let's get back to this bozo who didn't even question the fact that we got white blood. Didn't even question it. You just was questioning the African, but you did not question the white.
Genetic, not because you don't like African, genetic black tribe or something over in North America. That's BS. That's distortion.
How so? When there's proof of it.
There's a mixture. Through history. We know. I know. I look at myself. I can tell that I have like Native American in me. My grandfather, he was jet black, but his
Is Tariq sure this guy's Pan-Africanist, or he just somebody that Tariq don't like? Because remember, like Tariq was just calling him a tether for being from Florida and saying that he was against Carmelo Anthony. So I don't even know if this guy's actually Pan-Africanist or not. I think Tariq is just saying that because, you know, if he don't like you, you either going to be a tether, a Pan-Africanist, a Democratic shield, or a punk.
He told me his great grandmother was jet black, but she was Native American.
Right.
She had long silky hair.
There's a lot of them. Right. Okay.
But
You're proving my point.
But she was Native American.
Right. You're proving my point.
She wasn't black.
You just said she was jet black.
She wasn't jet. She was dark.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is getting confusing because he just said that she was black, but she was Native American, and Tariq is like, "You're proving my point." But how is he proving your point? What point is even being made? They got about 5 minutes to make this make sense, or we off this. Shout out to everybody in the building.
But changing it up. You proving my point, sir. Yes.
She wasn't.
You are. I know, dude. I grew. Listen, sir. I grew up in LA. I ain't saying nothing about.
Shout out to McKinsley for coming through with another Canadian too. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Yes, Tariq is glorifying the white. That's what the whole FBA movement is about. It's a white nationalist psyop. It's meant to just glorify whiteness. That's it. That's what they about. Glorifying whiteness. Oh, Lee, you out? Good night. Everybody say good night to Lee. Lee always sending me fire videos. Always sending me fire videos. And you can send me fire videos too. Remember, my DMs is always open. Just hit the description box. Look in there. Send it the best way you can. Good night, Lee. But yeah, let's get back to this.
Africa. I didn't say Africa. There were Native Americans, and I've seen them with my own eyes, all in Alabama, pure Native Americans, jet damn black, sir. I've seen them.
Dark.
Coat. Cat. Oh my God. Yeah, Cat. This is Cat. Tariq, if you actually seen that, you would have been put up pictures already. Where's the proof of this? How come Tariq get to just make claims and don't got to show no proof? Like Big Cat. This is Cat. Cat. This is straight Cat.
Okay.
I'm talking about black as a shoe. I mean black, dark black.
Right.
Full Native American.
You hidden colors, you know the history, but we can't distort the history.
What's distorting the history? And you're proving what I'm saying, sir.
Listen, all over the planet, we know that there are indigenous dark-skinned people.
Right, who they would call negritos.
We know that. I'm not getting into Elijah Muhammad, nothing like that. No fantasy knowledge of self. But there are dark people from Fiji that's dark.
I've been there. I've seen them. I know.
They're the original Asians, Chinese. Look exactly like an African tribe.
Right. You're proving my point.
The point is, over time, those are different people.
So they had an ethnogenesis.
And explain that ethnogenesis to me.
What you just said, over time, they become a different people. That's what an ethnogenesis is. Right? Mr. Oru, I don't know, he must be Googling someone. I think he's Googling what ethnogenesis means. He put me on hold. He's on hold.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Right here.
Did you Google ethnogenesis?
No, I didn't yet because I don't want to put you on hold.
Right.
I know there's a possibility that I had a book early, Ramses III, and the link between South America and Egypt with the Olmec heads.
Now we're just going all over the place. So let's bring it back.
With Olmec heads and all of that. Let's reel it back.
You just acknowledged that Fijians, people in Fiji, look black, but they what?
There's specks of DNA.
Oh my God! We about to get into a heavyweight pseudo battle. It's gonna be a heavyweight pseudo battle. We are about to get into a heavyweight pseudo battle, and we're not doing this. Not doing this. No, that's out. Shout out to everybody in the building. They got about 5 more minutes to clear this up. Shout out to the visionary for setting it off for itself with the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. Thank you, bro. You just helped me get closer to my goal. Exactly. How come we got sickle cell if we natives? Sickle cell is from Africa to protect against malaria. There is no malaria out here in the Americas. So why do we have sickle cell? Like, you can't make this up. Shout out to you again, bro, for coming through. Let's keep it going. Can't make this up.
Throughout North America, but to say that there's a whole ethnic tribe of Africans and no slave trade, that's BS. That's distortion.
I didn't say a tribe of Africans and no slave trade. I didn't say that. What are you talking about?
You said it's not. You said slavery was a minimum of black folks that came that way.
They brought, out of all the millions of people that they brought to North America, this is very well done. It's less than 6%. This ain't me. They documented everybody who came over, who was brought over. The number they had slaves in.
Over time,
it was
3 million total.
Kinsley, sickle cell, it's like a disease that make your red blood cells shaped like a sickle. And your red blood cells do that to fight malaria. That's what it is. That's what sickle cell is. It's a disease, basically. Matter of fact, it's not even really like a disease. It's like a genetic mutation, which you can say is also a disease that makes it easier for people to survive in West Africa because it helps you fight off malaria. That's how we know we couldn't be indigenous to America, because people who live outside of that area, especially in West Africa, don't have sickle cell. That's why the sickle cell rate amongst African Americans is so high. That's the funny part about it. Like, it's so many ways to debunk this whole we are indigenous stuff and we didn't come from Africa and the slave trade didn't happen. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. The fact that we vitamin D deficient. that wouldn't be the case if we was in America. Somebody commented that to me, I think yesterday, and I saw that comment, and I said, I didn't even think to bring that up. I didn't even think to bring that up as a point to how we not indigenous. I didn't even think to bring up sickle cell. That's why, again, shout out to the visionary for coming through with that about the sickle cell. I'm like, yeah, sickle cell. How can we be indigenous? We got sickle cell. You can't do that. You can't make this up. But let's get back to this.
In the 1700s or something like that.
Not North America, not here. It wasn't no 3 million total.
But over with the cotton gin, I told you.
Listen. Okay. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. You think they brought 3 million people over here from Africa on a boat?
In the span of 200 years, yes.
Okay, let's look at 200 years. It takes 9 to 10 months one way to get here on a boat.
That's not true. It takes about 3 months. That's one thing. So let's get that right. It takes 3 months. On top of that, if they couldn't bring millions of Africans to the Western Hemisphere in a 200-year period, then how did they get millions of Europeans here? See, y'all debunk yourself. The same, you're saying that couldn't have happened because of the amount and the time it take to get here on a boat. So how did all these Europeans get here? Are Europeans indigenous now? Are Europeans indigenous? Like, inquiring minds want to know, are Europeans indigenous?
From Africa in the 1700s. How many people you think was in that damn boat?
The Middle Passage, 300.
Let's say it was 300. It wasn't them many people. But let's say it was a boat full of 300 people.
200.
Yeah. Let's go with a high number. Let's say a boat with 300 people on the bottom came, and it took 9 months one way to take 300 people from Africa to the America. How many?
Exactly, Paul Bunyan. Exactly. Like, all these Europeans got here via a boat. Tens of millions of Europeans got here via a boat.
How many trips would that take to get up to 3 million?
3,000.
That's a damn lot. That's a lot. They didn't make that many damn trips, sir. That's logistically impossible.
Nah, that was going on. It was a whole system. You're talking about 2 decades.
3,000 trips?
You talking
that
about
takes 9 months each?
So you're saying Malcolm X and all of that is a
Hold on. We're talking math now. We're just talking mathematics, sir.
It's you can pull it up.
We're just talking mathematics.
Okay, you can Google search this yourself. They got documents of every slave ship.
1,000 years for that to happen. It would take thousands of years for that to happen in those numbers.
So how come it didn't take thousands of years for Europeans to get here in even greater numbers? Tariq talking like it was one boat. Like it was one boat. He got the capacity wrong. He got the time it take to get from the west coast of Africa to America wrong. He got everything wrong. Shout out to you, Lee. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Thank you for the idea. Yeah, let's keep it going.
To bring 3 million people over here in a boat that takes 9 to 10 months one way.
Our mind just waking up within the past 50, 60 years. But people been educated way back then in the 1700s. This stuff is well documented as far as cargo. They had a list of all the cargo, all up and down, not just North America, but Central and South America. I'm sure you came across the book, We the Black Jews or something like that by the Nation of Islam.
You're all over the place now, brother.
Where it's documented.
You're just throwing stuff on the wall right now, brother, because you know though that math wasn't mathing. You figured out that math wasn't mathing.
Nah, 200 times 3,000. What you talking? You talking about a whole system, a whole lifestyle. You talking about just like me and you talking. getting up and going to work tomorrow, whatever. That was the reality. People are getting up, going to work as a slave trader, as a merchant. That was their job. That was their livelihood.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Yeah, he went on and tapped on out. Yeah, he went on and tapped on out and just started tether babbling. He just started throwing crap on the wall because he realized that math didn't really math like he thought it was gonna math. Yeah, when you start looking at the logistics and it didn't take no damn. Who said 3 months? It didn't take no damn 3 months.
It did take 3 months. See, we don't let Tariq finish up and then we don't get off this. But I'm happy this happened. I'm happy I watched this. Heavyweight battle of the pseudos. Shout out to 350 yo for coming through with the gifts. I guess it finally works now. Well, now they show me when people send gifts. I'm like, what is this? Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the 30 jewels. Much appreciated. Everybody make sure y'all shout out 350 yo. Yo, let's keep this going. Ooh, they got a new feature. I think what was happening is because I needed to, matter of fact, yeah, I got a new feature because I was doing everything trying to figure out why the streams was getting choppy. I updated this, everything. But I guess while updating, I got the new feature. But yeah, shout out to 350, yo. Let's keep it going.
Like 6, 7, 8, 9 months. Family, yeah, that took a long time for them to go back and forth. You understand? Logistically and numerically, that don't add up. That doesn't add up, ladies and gentlemen. You didn't? They didn't bring all them people over here on no damn boat. That's mathematically impossible with those numbers. Come on. Man. Let's stop playing. Then when you just break it down and just start looking at the logistics of it, we see what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. Yeah, it would just be easier for them to say, hey, you over there in that village, that tribe, you're a Negro. Come on over here, man. We got you. Just get on that plantation. You're a mulatto. Yeah.
That don't even make sense. Y'all make sure y'all shout out 350 yo for coming through with the jewels, with 30 jewels. But yeah, Tariq, this doesn't make sense. You're babbling right now. Like even your own audience had to correct you. Like, come on now. 3 months is the long way, by the way, too. 3 months is like the long way.
That was simpler than a 9-month boat ride. You did? Where you getting sick on the boat and you got to go negotiate or now. It's very easy to say, hey, we'll just get one of these people from these tribes and put them on a plantation. Yeah? Yeah, no, I'm not saying, because there are people who say the slave trade by boat didn't happen at all. I'm not saying that because there are documents. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, the trade did happen by boat. They were bringing people here by boat, not in the large numbers that they tried to lie about. It wasn't large numbers. It just
Come on. Nobody's lying. Shout out to Romario for coming through with the 5. Make sure y'all shouting out Romario and everybody else who supported the stream so far. Yes, this is nonsense. Complete nonsense. Like, and he won't talk to Professor James Small because he's gonna lose. Tariq is gonna lose. How many times have I watched actual professors call Tariq out for debates and Tariq never took it? He'll start making jokes, start roasting, and that's it. That's how people should have knew that this whole FBA stuff, even Tariq in general, is a bunch of bozos. Instead of talking to the people who will actually be knowledgeable about this, they don't want to talk to them, but they want to talk to regular people all day. You want to talk to regular people who are not scholars, who would not have no special knowledge or understanding about this topic, but you don't want to talk to the actual scholars. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. You can't. Shout out to you again for sending the 5. But let's let Tariq finish up. Bozo.
This wasn't. That's my argument. Now, if somebody else has another argument, that's fine. That's what it is. It don't change lineage, though. All right, that don't change lineage. All right. Well, let's just be very, very real.
Yeah, we about to get off this. We gonna be real. Exactly. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for coming through with the $4.99. Also a member of the channel. Also one of my moderators. Yes, it's like I said, Tariq is getting dumber and 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 dumber. That's just what it is. They just get dumber, 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 dumber. Because it's only but so long you can promote this dumb stuff before it start cooking your brain and turning your brain into soup. No matter how smart you were at the beginning, if you keep staying with this, you're going to be dumber when it's all said and done. Shout out to you again for coming through with the $4.99. Can't make this up.
All right. Let me see. All right, raise your hand, family. Let me get you up in here.
Yeah, we off this. We off this. We are off this. Shout out to everybody who in the building right now. Shout out to everybody who came through. You said, hey, did you post a video when the guy called him Marcus? Which guy was that? You talking about revenue? I don't think so yet. But I'll look into that. Oh, shout out to AKW Beats for coming through with 100 jewels. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. High five to you. Family, make sure y'all shouting out everybody who's supporting the stream. But yeah, let's get off this. Let's get off this. Let's move on to something else. Let's move on to another grifter, but a more principled grifter at that. Asmongold. For all you who don't know, Asmongold has been basically crying about the movie Odyssey, the Odyssey, for like I don't know how long. He's been crying about it. But for all you who don't know, Odyssey was a massive success. So let's watch a couple videos of him swearing up and down it was going to be a failure. And hopefully one day soon he can put out a video explaining why it wasn't a failure. Yeah, let's start here. Let's start with this one. Here we go. Shout out to everybody in the building.
To tell about the Odyssey.
Snow White Latina, why are there black people in Rings of Power, and Star Wars has gone woke, comes the latest online onslaught against the diverse cast of the Odyssey. This is a real frame of Helen of Troy in the Odyssey, enhanced with grok to see it better. It's ridiculous. Nobody in the world thought Helen of Troy was black. Nobody thought that.
It doesn't matter if nobody thought she was black. It just doesn't matter. Again, this is a remake, a reimagining of a fictional story. It doesn't matter. The Greeks even did this themselves. Like one of the ancient Greeks, forgot his name, he had a great quote about stuff like this, about people taking the stories and switching them around to be the same color as them or stuff like that. Shout out to Irvin Palmer for coming through with the 30 jewels. Much appreciated.
And you put a white girl with blonde hair and blue eyes, and you said, this is Cleopatra, you would have all the people that are defending this attacking you.
I remember my grandmother saying to me, I don't care what they tell you in school, Cleopatra was black.
And so this is somebody, they're boycotting Super Mario Brothers. Oh,
okay. About the Cleopatra issue. Cleopatra was a part of a white dynasty. She was a part of a white dynasty. She may have had some black ancestry, maybe 1/8. She might have been 1/8 black or something like that. She might have been like Amber Rose, if we're gonna be real. But yeah, let's keep it going.
this is the guy. John Lazumo, only Latinos should be playing a Latino, stands there in blatant whiteface taking a check for playing a Greek. So wait a minute. This guy had no problem. He had no problem taking a role.
Are you going to be watching Super Mario Brothers?
No, I will not be watching Super
Oh my
Mario
goodness.
So they could have included a Latin character. Messed up the inclusion. They disincluded. Just cast some Latin folk. Cast some Latin folk. We're 20% of the population, the largest people of color group, and we're underrepresented, overrepresented in the worst kind of jobs, though.
So no Super Mario Brothers for you?
Hell no.
They have no problem playing this role. They don't care about this. They simply say this so they can take advantage of you. That's it.
I want to make 3 points that I think
So this is the person.
That's not true. That's not true. Maybe some people are saying it cynically and weaponizing it, but guess what? They wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for racist white people to begin with. Like, we got to remember, somebody couldn't weaponize the race card if we didn't live in a racist society. See, it's your fault. See, this what happened. Racists cry about people, quote unquote, weaponizing the race card, but it's your fault that there's even a race card to weaponize. That's like somebody being a known thief. You always known for stealing. You have created an environment where people know if you come around, they can steal, and they know people will naturally blame you. Is that fair? Is that right? That's your fault. That's my only response to that. If you hadn't spent your whole life being a thief, this wouldn't have happened. Just like the boy who cried wolf. You are a known liar. So when you call for help and people actually need help, when you actually need help, nobody shows up because you're a known liar. That's your own fault. You did that to yourself. You did that to yourself. Shout out to Starbright for coming through with the jewels, 30 jewels. Much appreciated. But yeah, let's keep it going. Did that to yourself.
And right here, Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, translated by Emma.
Yeah, thinking about it. These are the same people who cry about DEI. We wouldn't need DEI if you didn't discriminate against black people and other people of colors and other minorities to begin with. Think about this. If you hadn't done what you did, this wouldn't be the case. It's the same thing when people cry about how you can't talk about Israel or deny the Holocaust and stuff like that in Germany. Guess what? That's good, because if the Germans didn't do the Holocaust, that wouldn't be the situation. I love when people try to argue like, oh, that goes against free speech and this and that. It's a reason for that. It's a reason for that. It's a reason for that. Oh, shout out to Rob. You said Bill Maher said he left the Democratic Party. Dag, I ain't watched Bill Maher in mad long. I used to love his show. Dag, he left the Democratic Party. I gotta go look into that. Shout out to you for letting me know that. Let's keep it going.
Lee Wilson.
This is the translator Nolan is using as the basis for his film.
This is like 2016 or 17. Imagine what the focus is going to be. Guys, does anybody want to guess?
some of the fluffier kinds of press coverage. One is that my being the first woman to translate the Odyssey into English isn't really a headline that should be about me. The headline should be, why is it that this particular field, the field of classical translations of Greek and Roman texts, has been so vastly male-dominated?
It's very simple one. Almost all of the stories are masculine-focused stories. Men being men, killing other men, men killing beasts, men winning wars, overcoming challenges. And so obviously it's going to appeal to men more. Like, duh.
Being female doesn't in itself guarantee that you'll have a distinctively female or feminine perspective.
Yeah, so you had to add that in there yourself. That's great. I'm glad.
Women can be misogynistic perfectly easily. Many women aren't feminists. Many women haven't thought about gender whatsoever. For me, one of the most important truths I wanted to tell about the Odyssey, that there's an idea that this is the Odyssey. It's about an unproblematically heroic male Western hero, implicitly white, who is good because he crushes the bad guys, monsters, foreigners, and the story has a happy ending because the good guy gets back with the objectified wife and regains all his wealth and all.
I'm definitely probably going to look at her version of the Odyssey. I'm probably going to take a look at that, try to read her translation. Exactly, McKinsley. Exactly. They want to be everything but the villain. They everything but the villain. Everything but the villain. And I can't see it in the chat, but somebody was mentioning about all the white people who have played people of color, black people, and these people have nothing to say about it. It's the same thing also, if you want to be real, because I was meaning to do a whole video about this, about the Clash of Kings. Matter of fact, let's see. Not the Clash of Kings, the Clash of the Titans. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Clash of Titans. Clash of Titans. I can see my screen. Clash of Titans. They done made this movie and remade this movie a bunch of times. Clash of the Titans. You know the woman in the Clash of the Titans, Andromeda? She's black in real life. But every time when you watch this movie, Andromeda is never played by a black woman, and nobody has a problem to say about it. No, nobody has any issues. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the hero is Persian, but I know for a fact Andromeda is black. Let's see. Let's look at the cast. This woman played Andromeda. She's not black. She's not black. Did anybody cry about this? Or the woman who played her in the original? Nobody cried about this. There were no tears. But let's get back to this.
Another hag that's trying to ruin our culture because she hates men.
Though it's a nice celebration of family values, consumerism, patriarchy, war.
It's a nice celebration of family values, consumerism, patriarchy, and war. This is the reason why we have so many problems that we do. We have to pretend like this stupid misandrist bitch has something important to say. Just tell these people, shut the fuck up. No.
Superiority of normal male white people over foreigners and girls. I don't think I
White
would like
people?
the Odyssey if I thought that was all it was. In fact, I know I wouldn't. I really dislike that poem very intensely. I think the Odyssey itself is a much better poem than that. Quite a lot of translators add in extra words to suggest that they're dehumanized and also to suggest that they've done evil sexual
It's a
things,
narrative.
which makes them deserve to die, these creatures, which there's no equivalent for in the Greek. Fitzgerald adds in death of a beast to trolls, you sluts. Again, there's nothing equivalent to sluts in the Greek, or trolls. Fagles honors these women with sluts and whores, posing modern versions of misogyny onto this ancient text without interrogating their own, without thinking, how are the misogynies within this text different from my misogynies? How might there be a gap?
This is, again, it's all about misogyny. It's all.
But you didn't refute her. Like, see, again, you about to go rant and attack her for what she's saying, but you're not proving that she's wrong. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. She's talking about how people were interjecting things into the Odyssey that wasn't there. You ain't got nothing to say about it. See, that's the thing also. Like, again, these people will watch people interject all kind of themes into ancient texts that was not there. That were not there, and they'll co-sign it, just like what is it? Zack Snyder did with 300. He basically made 300 a race war. White people versus people of color. Because if you pay attention to 300, they had armies from representing all the black and brown people. Just black and brown people. Arabs, Persians, Africans, all that. Against a bunch of white people. Like, that wasn't there. But if somebody was to make a version of 300 that was more accurate, or they was to interject their own narrative into it, y'all would cry. Y'all would cry. That's why y'all losing. People are hip to the games.
About how oppressed you are. It's insane how bad this is.
The part I read was book 9 about the Cyclops. I was curious to see the degree to which translators undermine or not recognize what I think is clear in the Greek, which is that Polyphemus is an anthropos, he's a human being.
He's not a human being. I thought that his father was like Poseidon or something. That's why Poseidon fucked up the ship. What? Polyphemus, that's the name of the Cyclops.
And of course, that turns out to be, in problematic ways. But it's not that the whole narrative of that book is sort of saying right from the start, Odysseus is good, Polyphemus is bad. And I felt that just in looking at other translations, there was definitely this tendency to present it in that very simplistic way.
Wasn't he going to eat him?
Of course, the Western invader must be the good guy, and the colonial native inhabitant must be the bad guy, must have deserved it. I want to make 3 points.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is what we get.
Oh my God, Rob, you crazy. That was white people, Black Panther. Shout out to Rob. Oh, shout out to the Hood Mistress. Exactly. They did that in The Mummy. Like I said, somebody else was dropping. I can't find the comment now. I'm trying to scroll up and find it. But yeah, they did this in other movies too. And nobody batted an eye. Nobody had nothing to say anything about it. He is a rage farmer, but he's a true believer though. Like, it's not just clout chasing. It's not just a grift. He believes in what he's saying. I don't believe that if you were to talk to Asmongold, like in private, he would say like, I don't care about anything like this. I'm just doing this for the internet. No, he cares. He believes in it. Exactly. Exactly. About Nefertiti. You right, Lord of Slaughter. The Magi. The Magi. They made that Magi a bunch of Arabs. Now you can't make this up. Yeah, let's keep it going. All right, that was kind of funny. I'm not gonna hold you. Whoever did that was kind of funny.
Okay, I didn't know how this was gonna go, but I guess that kind of settles it, right? Yeah. Oh my fucking god, it be like that? Yeah, it sure do be like.
That was crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. That was kind of funny, but let's see what he got to say this time.
When you read the Iliad and the Odyssey, very little time is spent in the perspective of the women.
87% like-dislike ratio for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Oh my god. 446,000 dislike-a-rooskies. Check the first trailer. Well, I think the first trailer was pretty well liked, right? It was at 620K versus 130K. So it still had a positive like-dislike ratio. So this is the second trailer that it had, which had it's actually getting worse. And that's not even a little bit worse. That's a lot worse. It is a total chud uprising. The official Odyssey accounts turns off comments on marketing. The Odyssey cast joins Christopher Nolan in London. Only some accounts can reply. Man, it's so over. It's actually, dude, the hidden reply. It's, oh my god. Does no one have two wives? No, and fuck you.
Look, you know what's so funny? Again, the Odyssey was a massive success. Massive success. These people right here were so happy. They thought that they was going to convince people to not watch a Christopher Nolan film because of quote unquote race swapping and gender swapping and sexual identity swapping. Like, come on, bro. Like, the funny part is this probably would have worked 20 years ago when kids still read the Odyssey in school. Like, most people probably don't even know what the Odyssey is. They probably think this is just a brand new movie that Christopher Nolan just decided to write. They probably don't even know it's an adaptation because the educational system in America is so bad. They probably don't even know that this is an adaptation. The average person. That's why this doesn't work. When you say, oh, they're changing it. The average person don't even know what you're talking about because the average person never even read the Odyssey or the Iliad. They don't even know what this is. They have no idea.
Red carpet. I thought we were supposed to walk the sticks. Why did this one get hidden? This is about Achilles. This isn't even a bad comment. They're so dumb. Woke movie is DOA and it got dude. Every new post is locked. Are they really? Wait a minute. So this is locked and they all have replies turned off. When did they start doing this? Every single one has locked comments. Largest screens on sale tomorrow. Okay, so then 220 comments, and then they turned it off. A reminder to all the MAGA trolls, the Odyssey is not historical. You know what? Actually, I agree with you. I want Black Panther starring Tom Holland, Ben Affleck, Ryan Gosling, Pedro Pascal can be the father. Okay, so this isn't quotes. I'm looking for the wrong one. Okay, view hidden replies. Oh, geez, guys. Oh, no. Mel Gibson is Martin Luther King. We refuse to watch this garbage. Fuck Nolan. This is just really, wow. Why would you hide this one? It's funny. They should have left this one up.
Why wouldn't they hide it? It's obviously racist, put forward by a racist person to try to make a racist point. Can't make this up. That last one was funny, but this one is not funny. The last clip we watched, yeah, that was funny, but this is not funny. Let's keep it going.
Julia Roberts is Harriet Tubman. Boycott. Don't support the rewrite of history and culture. Your money matters. Fuck your race swapping garbage. What the fuck is this shit? Everybody.
You teaching. The only Homer people know is Homer Simpson. And the funny part about it, most people don't even know Homer Simpson anymore because The Simpsons is washed up. As far as I know, I don't remember the last time I saw anything from The Simpsons or I even watched anything from The Simpsons. Like, yeah. Can't make this up. Look up the 7. All right, I'm about to do that right now. Let's keep going.
But he hates it, man. If the Odyssey doesn't perform very well, I think that woke movies will actually die because you have like a massive high quality star cast. And if even this movie fails, I think it could be it.
I want you to imagine really quick that you're sitting in a movie theater and you're sitting next to Homer and you watch the Odyssey. When it's over, you can lean over and go, okay, cool. What'd you think about how it ended?
I'd be like, so Homer, how do you feel about the screen time given to these women, considering how little you spent with them?
She just called Homer, the father of Western literature, a chud incel.
Homer is supposed to be the father of history. But yeah, I just looked it up. What am I looking for, her mistress? Like, I looked it up. What is it supposed to be like? What am I supposed to be seeing? I just looked it up. Am I supposed to look at the trailer or look how bad it is or whatever the case may be? Oh, now I know what you're saying. It got a black woman in it. Matter of fact, let's go to that right now. I think this is it. I think this is it right here. Shout out to the hood mistress for coming through with that. See? That's why you got to participate in the chat. Let's look at this.
Hallmark Entertainment presents Who Are You? I am Odysseus, the greatest adventure of all time.
You must make this journey.
Set the sails! An epic voyage into worlds beyond imagining. You don't recognize me? An incredible story of wonders beyond belief. All the secrets of the world.
I see now you believe.
A movie event unlike any you have ever seen before.
Me, Odysseus! I come to Troy!
The Odyssey. A classic adventure.
Oh, I saw the black woman. Let's bring that back a little bit.
The Odyssey.
I think that was Tyra Banks or Robin Givens. I don't know. I looked that up.
A classic adventure. Delightful, larger than life. A feast for the eyes. Irresistible. A major entertainment event. Armand Sade, Greta Scacchi, Geraldine Chaplin, Bernadette Peters, Eric Roberts, Isabella Rossellini, and Vanessa Williams.
Oh, it was with Vanessa Williams. I got that wrong.
Destiny is to become immortal, to have your name on the lips of endless generations.
The Odyssey.
And you know what's so funny? Nobody had a problem with this back then. That's another thing I meant to say. A lot of this stuff that we see today didn't exist back then. This was like a bunch of racists who weaponized canon and source material to just attack black people being in movies and shows. That's all they did. Like, they don't really care about these shows and canon and source material. I always say that. They just wanted to attack black people. Remember, when the Hunger Games came out, it was a big controversy about Rue being black. Mind you, if you had read the Hunger Games like I did, you would know that Rue is black. You would know District 11 was a black district. But, hey. Like, come on. See? Oh, yeah. That's Vanessa Williams. I couldn't really tell. But, yeah. Shout out to everybody in the building for participating. So, yeah. Vanessa Williams. Somebody said something. Yes, there was no social media back then. On top of that, there was no way to actually like weaponize it, to weaponize your racism and to get a bag off it. Remember, there's a lot of this is also grift. A lot of this, some of these people are true believers and are grifters, but a lot of them are just grifters. It's like it's an easy bag. Easy bag. Yeah, she did look like Tyra Banks with that hood on. That's why I said like that. Is that Tyra Banks? She did look like her. Beautiful sisters. But yeah, let's get back to this. But like I said, there's no way to weaponize this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Thanks, everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Get them likes up. Share the stream. Support it any way you can. Any way you can. Any way you can. Yeah, let's keep it going. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to Asmongold cries. Let me see. Make sure the audio is good. Let's go. Oh, let's go. So we watched week 2. Let's get to day 6.
The Odyssey's out. It's getting bad reviews. I saw it actually got a lot of good reviews.
Wait, time out. Look at this. This video got over 1.4 million views. A bunch of weirdos on the internet hating on black people. You see how easy it is? How easy it is to make anti-black slop and get views, get money. Like this is just easy work. Easy peasy. But yeah, let's keep it going.
It has 99% on the tomato meter.
Asmon tweeted, "I don't think it's a great thing that critics are able to preemptively manufacture a consensus on media like this, especially when this movie has so many hot-button social issues tied into it that critics refuse to address. Critics now offer propaganda rather than insight."
So these...
Can Stephen Fry, I think his name is Stephen Fry or Stephen Fry, can he like sue y'all for that? Like using his voice to read out messages? Like, come on now. Ridiculous.
Are all critics, by the way. Yes, hot button social issues like the existence of trans actors. Wow. It's not up to you. It's not your decision to decide what people are allowed to and not allowed to have a problem with. These people think that they can tell you what you're allowed to dislike. What the fuck are we talking about? Cuties is still sitting at 87%. Yeah. So this was a movie that effectively sexualized underage girls and had 87% on the tomato meter. Ultimately, whether Paul wants to accept it or not, the existence of having a trans person playing a role in the Odyssey, this is controversial to people. Whether you think it should be controversial or not is not relevant. The same way having Helen of Troy played by a black woman is controversial. I think that you are manufacturing a consensus, because if you look at the amount of people that dislike the Odyssey trailer, they didn't like these decisions and they voiced that concern. John Lozamo says his Odyssey in Hollywood has been fighting for Latino representation. Let me see this person.
Well, you know, it's always been a battle. I mean, you know, Hollywood is not the most accepting place. Even though we Latin people are 30 to 40% of the box office and a third of streamers, we're still not represented. We're the most underrepresented, aggressively underrepresented group in America. So that's been my Odyssey, to try to bring some parity.
Check the comments here. Are a lot of Greeks excited about the Odyssey? Oh no. Oh no. Don't tell me it's on Reddit. Let me look at this. I think the vast majority of Greeks are very unimpressed with the movie, to say the least. Yeah, none. Oh my God. Not excited. Not excited. In Greece, we think the whole Odyssey thing by Nolan is just a parody at this point. The guy literally tried to upset a whole culture the way Ubisoft did on the Japanese with Assassin's Creed Shadows. No one, my husband's pissed at hell.
Exactly. A bunch of incels crying about history. Because for you don't know, the game that they talking about upsetting a whole culture was about a black samurai. A black samurai that really exists. Some people are trying to play the semantic game and be like, well, he wasn't technically a samurai. Well, if he wore the, when you know, colloquially, when we say samurai, we mean somebody who wore the armor, had the katana, and went into battle. Just like knight. Knight was a title. So just because you had armor, you roll a horse, and you had a sword, didn't technically make you a knight. But yeah, how was they upsetting a whole culture by making a video game about an actual person who really existed? Like that's how bad the anti-blackness runs. Where you can make a video game. All right, we're not gonna create a fake black person to be a samurai. we're going to get a real black samurai from history and we're going to make a video game around him. How is that upsetting? It's only upsetting because, again, anti-blackness. But nobody was upset about The Last Samurai, which is a good movie. I like it. But at the end of the day is over. How can you be upset about actual black samurai that existed, but not upset about fake white samurai who never existed? Like, you gotta pick your struggle.
Was casted by a black, pretty much erases that part of Greek history, and Greeks were never commingled with Africans during these times. Even today, Greeks are very prideful that their lineage hasn't been erased when they were under the Ottoman Empire rule. This movie is a big FU to Greek history and their heritage. We don't like that Hollywood uses our heritage to promote their woke agenda.
But that's also a lie about blacks and Greeks not being mixed, not mixing and dealing with each other in ancient times. That's also a big lie. But yeah.
Greece. Absolutely fucking based. So yes, Paul is being willfully obtuse, and yes, it is a hot button issue to have a black person playing Helen of Troy. It doesn't matter whether you approve of people's opinions, they still exist. And you don't get to just shame those opinions out of existence because they're uncomfortable or inconvenient for your worldview.
Let's go. Last day before the movie came out. Let's go.
This really looks bad. It does. It really, really, really looks bad. Now, I haven't seen the movie, so I'm not sure if this is real. Is that a body cam? Yeah, that's what people were saying. Watch this off stream, show a couple frames afterwards.
Face. I launched 1,000 ships. Maybe now just 500.
Okay, this is an actual frame. I'm not going to show it. So this is the way Helen of Troy looks in the movie. Is this, I mean, there's no way this is, why would you give her a scar on her face? Wait, what? I'm not shitting you. This is an accurate depiction of the first 5 minutes of the Odyssey. This actually happens?
Oh, that clip again.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You can watch this off stream and maybe throw a frame afterwards? Okay. It actually is. How does this happen? How did it just get produced?
Wait, that's real? That can't be real. That can't be real. Hey, let's keep it going.
That's insane. They made the meme. I am going to look at the Odyssey review. This is on Metacritic. So it has an 89 score based off of critic reviews, and it has a 5.3 score based off of user reviews. Rotten Tomatoes is better. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, 96% and 97%. How do you have this big of a disparity? They review each review and wait a minute. They can delete reviews. The Woman King. So this has 99%. Wait, what? So they just delete reviews? How does anybody take this seriously then? Okay, The Woman King was rated a 6.9. So this isn't even remotely close to it. Like a 99 for a movie review is insane. Just for a bit of context, this random movie has a higher rating than Lord of the Rings. Let's look at some other movies. Fight Club, 96%.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned Lord of the Rings. If you know the history, and if you read the books, you would know that Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings is not accurate to the source material, but nobody cares because it's a good movie, and they just judged it on that. And also, the source material crowd, they don't really care about source material. They never read it. They don't engage with that. They just care about whether there's black people in it or not. Like, again, if Christopher Nolan had made this movie but had no black people in it, no people of color, nothing like that, nobody would be crying. Just like Rings of Power. All the crying about Rings of Power had nothing to do with whether it was a good story or not. It just had to do with the fact that there was black people in it. That's it. But let's keep it going.
The Matrix, 85%. Gladiator, 87%. Inception, 91. Okay, guys. I think there's something wrong here. Even IGN was a bit more fair than the critics on Rotten Tomatoes.
And while The Odyssey isn't perfect and can frequently feel rushed, it's a pretty great movie-going experience all the same.
Like, if somebody rated The Odyssey as an 8, I would say, okay, yeah. I said before, and you can go back and watch even the first time I talked about this movie. I think this movie will be a commercial success. Critically, it will be seen as an amazing movie.
We just watched you say that you thought it was gonna fail. And how it was so over, how it was gonna fail, and everything. Now that the movie is out, and now that you see that you saw the numbers getting ran up, now you're switching it to, well, I think it's gonna be a success. Like, come on now, we literally just watched you a bunch of videos talking about how bad this was gonna be, how much people was hating this, and blah 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 blah. But now look at this.
And the reason why is that they have to counter signal the popular message that the casting decisions are bad. And so you talk about for.
Hey, time out. I just saw something. Exactly. They don't delete reviews. You just got to prove that you watched the movie. They keep people from review bombing it, pretending that the movie is better than what it really is, or gooder than what it really is. Shout out to McKinsley. I know it was black people, black villages in Greece during the Ottoman times, but they're gonna be like, well, that's different. That's the Ottoman times. You're talking about ancient times. Somebody calling me? I thought I had my phone on mute. But yeah, let's get back to this. Let me stop this. Hang up. Yeah, let's get back to this though. Shout out to Tabitha in the building. Shout out to Tabitha in the building. You already know, a bunch of racist incels. That's it. Racist incels. True to the game. Shout out to Chocolate Lyric in the building. Chocolate Lyrics for you. Shout out to Benevolent in the building. Much appreciated. Thank you for the fire emoji. But let's get back to this.
Someone hasn't even seen the movie. It's really weird. So what have I said so far that you disagree with? Movie being ideological capture. The movie was fine, not great. Definitely disagree. Why would you cast a black woman for Helen of Troy? Why would you cast a 5'1", 100-pound trans actor as a Greek soldier? Do you think that that's accurate casting? If they cast Ryan Gosling as Black Panther, would that be accurate? No, of course not. Well, why not? Black Panther, it's not like Black Panther's real. Is the character as obvious established as black? And what do you think Helen of Troy is? How do you not?
Oh my God. Sorry, y'all. The sound cut off. I am so mad. The sound cut off. Shout out to Red Pill Zulu for helping me reach my goal. Helping me reach my goal. Much appreciated. Thank you for the 20. But what I said was, as you heard what he said about, well, how come it's okay for a white character to be termed black, but it's not okay for a white black character to be termed white? The reason it's not okay is because of the historical context. Whitewashing is racist. That was a real practice that existed in Hollywood, where they would purposely term black characters white. Like even going back to the long, I think it's the Lone Ranger. Yes. And even going back up to Andromeda. They would do this on purpose. It wasn't because they didn't know that those people were black. They didn't want to put black people in there because of racism. So if you were to do that, that would mean you're following the footsteps of racists. Like, again, it's just that simple. Context matters. We not the same. Who did slavery? Who discriminated against who? All right then. All right then. Shout out to the visionary for coming through with the 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. You said they've been going after GTA 6? That makes sense. They ain't got nothing else better to do. They ain't got nothing else better to do but to be miserable. Because if you ask them, well, what do you actually like? Or better yet, have you actually watched or engaged in any of this content that you bashing? The answer is no. The answer is no. Yeah, let's keep this going.
Let's see this. Helen Troy being black definitely. Oh, okay. Even if the movie is successful, I think that you can't make the argument that any of these casting decisions made the movie more successful. There are things that are successes that are held back.
Oh, Cope. Sound like Cope to me. This is Cope. This is Cope.
By decisions that are made. Like, here's a good example. Would Grand Theft Auto 6 be better off if they weren't selling additional deluxe packs that had content in the base game that's locked behind it? Absolutely.
Oh, see? Shout out to the visionary. Let me put you back up. Yeah, you had just said something about them going after Grand Theft Auto 6. And look, he just mentioned it. That's how true it is. Let's keep going.
Absolutely. You basically added in a hurdle and a roadblock for something that you didn't really need to.
Okay, that's enough. Again, we got it.
Woman King. I think there's something.
Come out. We got it. We got it. Because as y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. Right there. We again, now the cope. Now the copium. Now the copium. Because the movie was successful. Now we getting all the copium. Now we getting all the copium. But yeah, let's get off this. Let's get off this. Matter of fact, since we dealing with copium, let me see something real quick. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everyone in the building. Let's get into this. And make sure y'all shouting out everybody. Oh yeah, make sure y'all shout out to Red Pill Zulu for coming through with the 20. Make sure y'all shout out Red Pill Zulu for coming through with that 20. And make sure y'all shout out the visionary for coming through with that 199. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. That's how we on it. That's how we on it. But yeah, there was something I wanted to touch on. Let's see if I can find it. I want to see if I can find it. Where is it? Let me see something. Matter of fact, we could go to that later. Let's see something. What do we want to go to? What do we want to go to? Oh, let's see. Shout out to everybody in the building. That's what we're supposed to be going to. This bozo, Felipe Scott, Mexicano Phil, is talking about the Haitians. Let's see what this bozo got to say. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. You already know. You already know. Shout out to those brothers for coming through. Shout out to them for coming through. Yeah, let's get to this. Yes, Phil is a grifter to his bone. Shout out to Starbright. I want to go see the Odyssey now too, but just because of that, I want to see the Odyssey. I'm definitely supporting that lady who did her own translation. I'm definitely buying that. So yeah, let's get into this. Oh, shout out to Julius in the building. Yeah, we're gonna do that after this. I already started the Phil, so we're gonna do this after this. For all you don't know, this is Phil, the bozo, talking about something about a Haitian lying on FBA. But you know, I'm pretty sure the brother ain't lying on FBA. So let's get to this.
Well, you know, there's some Haitian people that keep discussing about the ending of temporary protected status. And we know the term temporary means what it means. It doesn't mean forever. It means a short amount of time. But a lot of people that came through temporary protected status have been here, some of them 10 years.
The temporary status was not over. Trump artificially wanted to end it. There's no justification for Trump ending this other than racism, by the way. The status is there so people can be here until their situation gets better. The situation has not improved. That's all temporary means. Temporary as in that you get to stay here until the situation get better. So if the situation get better in 10 months, 10 years, whatever. That's what it means.
15 years, 20 years, 30 years, all on temporary protected status. And now the U.S. Supreme Court has said that the executive branch, which is the Trump administration, can end TPS. And Trump decided to end the TPS for Haitians and Syrians by July the 1st, which would be, at the film of this video, would be tomorrow. But there have been people in the Haitian community making videos, not about that, but making videos about FBA, Foundational Black Americans, okay? Foundational Black Americans.
I like how he tried to throw Syrians in there too. He don't care nothing about the Syrians, and nobody's going after the Syrians. The Trump administration only put Syrians in there too to try to make it look like this was less racist, and that he's not just targeting the Haitian community because he hates the Haitian community. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Americans had nothing to do with any of this, okay? Nothing. Only thing we did is Foundational Black Americans is just kind of, we're staying out the way. Hey, everybody do what they do. But I want you to watch what this guy says, the real reason why FBA don't like Haitians. It's coming from him. It's not coming from us. Let's go ahead and check that out.
The FBA happy that Haitians getting deported. Look, man, one thing about us Haitians, y'all can never say we hated on y'all. I'm saying y'all can say it, but y'all can't really prove it. Y'all can show us not nowhere where Haitians did anything to y'all. You feel me? All I'm hearing is, this one lady said dirty Black American. Yeah, y'all can mention that, but at the end of the day, like, Haitians show you have nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? So one person can't represent the entire nation. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't never hated on nobody. We're the most loving people that I know. Saying so, at the end of the day, we ain't did nothing to y'all, and I know why a lot of y'all hate us, but we still love y'all, man. I'm saying, but I know it's because the girls love us, so y'all gotta hate. It's all good.
I don't love him. No, we don't love. It ain't all good. We hate FBA. FBA is a hate cult. We don't got no love for nobody repping FBA. Shout out to Alex in the building. Yes, Chicago was founded by a Haitian. City of Chicago. One of the top 3 cities in America, founded by a Haitian. Yeah. FBA just hating on Haitians for no reasons. Haitians have never done anything. In fact, the reason why they hate Haitians so much is because white supremacy hate Haitians so much. Remember, Haitians are the most hated group of Black people. They're the most hated group of Black people. White people are still mad about Haitians freeing themselves on their own terms. They still mad about that. They still mad about that. So yeah, that's the reason why FBA goes so hard, because they gotta please master. You gotta please master. But yeah, let's keep it going. I don't know what you mean by FBA, but matter of fact, yes, there are women who was in the FBA hate cult who got exposed for dating Haitians, having kids by Haitian dudes, and all that. Yeah, it's a bunch of them. One of the biggest voices in the FBA, in the FBA community, hate cult. She said she was Haitian at one point. She was repping Haiti. Because I think her boyfriend was Haitian, or her father, or her kid's father was Haitian, or even her father was Haitian. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Let me get this straight. First of all, it's comical. Black Americans, FBA in particular.
I'm happy he's separate. You just heard him. We got to bring that back. He said Black Americans, FBA in particular. You heard him. You heard Philippe Scott say it. He separated FBA from Black American. Let's do it.
First of all, it's comical. Black Americans, FBA in particular, hate Haitians because y'all getting girls. Well, what about the women who are FBA? They're not hating on you because of that. If they like men, that is the most silly and asinine thing you can say, sir. Now, let me give you some truth. When we wake up in the morning as Black Americans, we're not thinking about any Haitians. I'll be honest with you. We're not. That's not on the top of our mind. When we wake up in the morning, we're not thinking about TPS. We're not thinking about anything. We're thinking about how our day's going to go, going to work, got to pay these bills, deal with these kids if we got them. You know, maybe the dog, the cat, with anything else that you have, right? You think about those things. You know, what's going on with your wife, your husband, whatever the case may be. No, that's not what we're thinking about as Haitians. When we have conversations among each other, we're not even laughing at you. Okay? We're not. We're living our lives because we have a lot going on here.
Stop trying to you just separated Black American from FBA. So keep that same energy. FBA is definitely attacking Haitians. They're definitely thinking about Haitians. That's all FBA does is wake up in the morning and think about Black immigrants and how to hate on them and how to glaze the white man. That's all FBA think about. That's all FBA think about. Maybe you, even though you're FBA, that's not what you think about because you're a grifter. Who else gonna make sure that your Mexican daughter, your Mexican stepkids is well taken care of? Who else gonna make sure they well taken care of? Who else gonna give them $1 million lifestyle but you? For all you don't know, Phil trashed Black women till you can't trash them no more, and then trash them some more. But he turned around and got married to a Mexican who was a single mother. Remember, Phil used to be on that gender warring, Black women ain't this, Black women ain't that, don't date single mothers this, and don't do this and do that, just for him to turn around and be in a relationship with a Mexican single mother. And he takes care of her kids like they're his own. Takes care of those kids like they're his own. But we don't let him keep talking.
Here in this United States of America. Another thing, sir, is that you don't occupy our time like that, and we don't have no hate for nobody. That's the thing. We don't have no hate for nobody because we had hatred. Trust me, you would know. Now, people online leaving comments to you and talking about, you say they celebrating that you being deported. How do you know that's even Black people? You don't even know. But let's say if it is, they could talk all.
Well, wait, time out. So you talking about how do we know? So people don't know Tariq Nasheed? So you acting like the majority of the FBA hate that people are receiving, there isn't like a leadership to it. Like it's not personalities. It's not just out of nowhere. They just received a bunch of random comments on the internet from faceless profiles. We got people like yourself, Tariq Nasheed, and a whole host of others on the internet pushing this. That's who people are talking about.
Day long. They're not going to be the one picking you up or your family up. They're not going to be the one putting you in ICE facilities. They're not going to be putting you on the planes to send you back to your homeland. We don't, as a community, have nothing to do with it. Why are we keep getting mentioned? You're mentioning
because you're celebrating and you do have something to do with it. You think it ain't nobody who believe it, who's FBA, who call themselves and identify as FBA, who didn't join ICE? You think it ain't people who call themselves FBA on the internet advocating for this? That's having something to do with it. There are people who voted for Trump just for this, just so they could be deportations. In fact, when people was bringing up that how Trump is anti-reparations, what did Yvette Carnell say? Immigration is more important than reparations. A bunch of people did this. So they are a part of it. FBA is a part of it. FBA is totally a part of this. Talking about this ain't got nothing to do with this. This is what I keep saying. The longer you be FBA, the stupider you get, the more slop you start putting out. This is low energy slop. This is low energy slop. Like, what is this? Like, what are we even watching right now? Like,
some random black people who's saying things to you online. Remember, online, not at your home, not at your job, nowhere that can even affect you. Online. Let me tell you something. I know I'm gonna give you a secret. You can log out of that app and you won't even know what they say anymore. Matter of fact, you can even turn your comments off and you won't even hear nothing they gotta say. It's many ways to not even engage with FBA unless you're just trying to go through and see videos. Okay, and they may pop up, but you could scroll, you can block, and that way they don't even come up in your algorithm anymore. You understand? There's many ways you don't have to even engage with any FBAs even online.
So by your logic, why don't you do this with white nationalists? Why even engage with them? Why do you even talk to them? Why do anything? Why don't you take your own advice and then do that when it comes to white nationalists? Why don't you take your own advice and do that when it comes to white nationalists? Family, make sure y'all supporting the stream any way you can.
But it's crazy you have more smoke for black Americans, but don't have no smoke for the white folk that's going to round you up and get you out of here. That's what I don't understand. Y'all, please help me understand this. Because like I said, I don't know everything. I'm still learning like the rest of you, okay? Maybe I got this thing confused, and so I'm reaching out for help. And what I'm asking y'all is this. If we are not the one as a community made the decision to end your TPS, if we aren't the people that's going to go round you up and put you in nice detention facilities and put you on a plane and get you back to your homeland, if we're not doing all of that, we're not the one going to end your green cards. We're not going to end your work permits. Black Americans not going to do any of that to you. And you're worrying about some black folks that's tee-hee-hee, ha-ha-ha online than the folks that's going to do this stuff to you to really affect you. And now because of citizenship, birthright citizenship, if you got a kid and you on TPS, the kid can stay, but you can't. Unless you're taking your kid with you. And a lot of you are probably not going to want to take your kid with you. So, sir, what are you talking about? I'm trying to figure this out.
Exactly, 350 yo. Why does FBA not do the same thing that they are advocating for? Why not? Why not? Oh, shout out to Fahima in the building. I just saw something. Let me see something. You said. Exactly. Phil is even. That's what I said. Phil himself is advocating for this. You talking about it like this is some faceless group of people that just hiding on the internet that you don't even know if they really black or not. Phil, on your own network, you advocate for it. You work with people who advocate for this. One of the reasons, again, y'all was pushing people to vote for Trump or not vote for Kamala was so stuff like this could happen. You are part of the problem. Mexicano Phil, Mexicano Scott, Felipe Scott, you are part of the problem. Shout out to Fahima in the building. Exactly. Tomatoes at Phil. Put your tomatoes up if you know that Phil is not making any sense. Not making any sense at all.
Y'all so mad at some black people online that you don't even know if they're black, but even if they are, who cares if they're laughing? Who cares? Megyn Kelly just had an alt-right rant at y'all. Y'all not saying nothing about
a rant that that Tariq co-signed, a rant that FBA co-signs. So what are you saying? Again, and if they can talk about Megyn Kelly, he can talk about you too.
That's what Megyn Kelly said. She was cussing about y'all. She was saying, go back to, you say, even effing Haiti. That's what she was saying. She said y'all ruining the country. Y'all want to assimilate. She's saying all this stuff about y'all. And y'all keep making videos talking about FBA was laughing at us. FBA was talking about us. FBA this, FBA that. Oh my God. Like grow up. Address the people that's going to do some harm to Haitians. Not some person online who you don't even know is not even. I mean, I can care less for somebody to say in a comment section. I don't know them people. You know how many people say stuff about me on any platform I'm on? I don't even see it half of the time. Be honest with you. Unless somebody really brings something to my attention, I don't see it. And if they say something stupid or crazy, I just block them. And that's it. It's no problem. I'm not sitting here make videos about this, but like y'all keep this is the second video that come across my desk where you but I'm still getting back to it.
What you doing right now? Why are you not following your own advice? Why are you making a video about this? Why didn't you just scroll past the Haitian dude? Why didn't you just block him? Why didn't you just ignore him? The same advice you're giving him, why are you not accepting? Why have you not followed that advice? Why have you not put in block anything related to Haitians, Haiti, TPS? You could have did that, Phil. You could have did that. You could have did that. Like, make it make sense, bro. Why are you not following your own advice? Why are you not following your own advice? Matter of fact, bring this back a little bit. Let's see if he's gonna follow. Let's let him expose himself yet again.
Problem. I'm not sitting here make videos about this, but like y'all keep this is the second video that come across my desk where you but I'm still getting back to it. So people hating on I guess the black men in particular hating on Haitian men because of girl like you serious? Like no, I promise you, Black American men been getting women for a very long time, and they're gonna be getting women after you're gone. I promise you. And my thing is this, well, maybe you get you some good Haitian women, some women from the soil of Haiti, that's full of your culture, full of your lineage, your
soul. People from the women from the soul of Haiti. Again, also that soil stuff, that's white nationalist talking points with the terminology that they're using. They got that from white nationalists. You can't make this up. Bunch of bozos. And again, why didn't you go get yourself a good FBA woman from the soil? Why are you dating a Mexican? Inquiring minds want to know, when is Phil gonna follow his own advice? You talking about other people doing other things, right? About why don't you just go back to Haiti and get you a Haitian woman from the soil? Why you ain't go back to wherever you from? Because you from Texas, right? Why you didn't get yourself a FBA sister from the there's no sisters that are FBA. An FBA woman from the soil, from Texas. Why are you dating a Mexican? A Mexican with kids at that. Kids you taking care of. Do you take care of your own kids that good, Phil? Because I'm pretty sure you got kids. You got kids, other kids that you may have had with a black woman. Are you taking care of those kids? Are you funding their lifestyle? Are you funding their mother's dreams? Are you? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Blood in your language. That's the women you're gonna be able to get, sir. Is get some good Haitian women and marry them good Haitian women. Because they need husbands. And take care of them. Provide all things you need to do as a man. Love your good Haitian woman. Honor her. Help her with your kids. Help her also clean the house. Don't just be laying around. Help her clean the house. Give her a break sometime. Take care of them kids. Let her have a day to herself sometime. Take care of that good Haitian woman when you're in Haiti. That's the women you need to be focused on about getting. It's them good Haitian women. Don't worry about what FBA got going on. We'll be in America minding our business and figuring this stuff out, whatever it may be. Okay. And you mentioned the woman that said dirty black American. I didn't play it because we all didn't seen that video. They said, oh, that's one person said, no, she wasn't the only one that made these little comments about black Americans. Look,
how did you see the comments? You saying she not the only one. Well, how many comments have we seen FBA and Tariq Nasheed and people like yourself make about Haitians? How many times have Trump said things about Haitians and y'all co-signed it? Y'all defended it. But let's leave that alone. Why, Phil, did you not follow your own advice. Inquiring minds want to know why Felipe Scott didn't follow his own advice. Why when you saw the video, you ain't just skip past it? Why when you heard about the comments, you ain't just skip past it? Why you could have skipped past it. You could have skipped past it. Why didn't you skip past it? Why did you feel the need to watch it over and over again? Why did you feel the need to make videos about it? Why did you feel the need to check comments? I thought you said you don't check comments. I thought you said you don't care about that. I thought you said you was too busy living your life. I thought that's the advice you was given, but you didn't follow it. You didn't follow it.
Listen, we're not that silly to react a certain way because of one person. No.
You are that silly. Tomas, you not that silly to react that way because of one person. Because if you're not that silly, then you would know that even if you found 100 comments, though that's what you would call anecdotes. Those are anecdotes. You have to find the analytics. See, is there any analytics that Haitians don't like black people in America and think that they're the enemy and try to undermine them? Is there any analytics behind that? Because whether it was one video or 100 videos, that's all anecdotal. Where's the numbers? Where's the concrete numbers? Where's the tangible harm that you can prove? If you can't, then there's no justification for doing that.
We look at patterns. Now, that
white supremacist talk, we look at patterns. What's the difference? What's the difference? Matter of fact, I'm about to look at some patterns. Keep going.
One person could be the stick that broke the camel's back, but that one person don't just get a reaction. No, then we'll tell you something, but that'd be the end of it. And even then, bro, we're not even talking about that girl. Like, now some people are like, hey, where's she at right now? They in the TPS. Where's she at? Yeah, everybody want to know where she at because we ain't seen her online or nothing like that since that video. But bro, y'all got way more issues to be dealing with, my bro, than worrying about what FBAs are doing, getting women. Like I said, get you some good Haitian women when you go back home. That's the women you need to focus on at this point. Actually, women would be the last of my focus if I had, my TPS got revoked. Women would not be in my mind. But they come up with some wild, cockamamie excuses about us. Like, Lord, we not the one that's gonna deport you, sir. Go talk.
Yeah, that's enough of this. That's enough of this. Yeah, I was gonna, but my signal's starting to get a little choppy. So it's like I was gonna go to that, but before the signal completely cut out, we gotta touch on the AOC thing. But yeah, this guy's a total bozo.
Talk to them white folks. They the one deporting you.
Yeah. We off this. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Because I was about to do him like I did Tabitha Speaks. Where it's like, oh, y'all noticing patterns. That's the terminology you want to use. Pattern recognition. Okay, we're gonna notice some patterns together. We're gonna notice some patterns together. But shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody who supported the stream in any way they could, with a comment, with a reaction heart, with a thumbs up, with a cash app, with a super thanks, super chat, all that. Also, help me hit the goal, family, if you can. But let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. I think this is it right here. This is about the drama AOC is facing with the DSA. But yeah, let's get into this. Shout out to Automac in the building. Peace to you, bro. Thanks for the fire emojis. Shout out to AKW Beats for coming through with 10 joules. Make sure y'all shout out AKW Beats for that. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. I don't know what 10 joules is, but I'm thankful for it. Even if it was 1 joule, I take it. I'll take it. Oh, shout out to RBG for the win in the building. Oh, shout out to Justin March. Yes, got me one step closer to the goal. Much appreciated. Thank you for the 2. Thank you for the 2. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. But yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Let's see what Vosh got to say about the DSA drama concerning AOC. And I'm pretty sure it's going to vindicate me.
DSA National Political Committee is behaving anti-democratically right now. They removed a one-member, one-vote poll on endorsing AOC because the DSA left knew that it would be resoundingly popular. They kicked it to convention, which is like the DSA Electoral College in 2027, which is insanely late. That's pretty funny. So, I mean...
You know what's so funny about that? When a Democratic Party did something similar, not even as bad, something similar to Bernie Sanders, who is not a member of the Democratic Party, everybody started crying. Even though Bernie Sanders, nobody cheated him, and he was going to lose regardless. Nobody, y'all couldn't stop crying. In fact, that was one of y'all justifications for a lot of y'all Bernie boroughs to flip MAGA, to sit out the election. That was one of y'all justifications. Shout out to the Hood Mistress for coming through with 2 jewels. Much appreciated. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. But as you saw it, right? Voss is making it seem like this is not a big whoop. It is a big deal. You know why it's a big deal? Because AOC is a part of the DSA. The DSA is purposely undermining their most popular member because they don't want her to be the face. Because like I told you, the DSA is a bunch of white people who want people like Graham Plattner. The only reason they support an AOC, a DAC, and a Mondani is because it's New York, and that's the only thing that's going to work. A Graham Plattner could never work in New York. But for the rest of the country, just like we've seen in Maine, Graham Plattner is the model. It's what they want. That's another reason why they switched the rules. So AOC, their most popular politician, can't be the face of it. Can't be the front runner. Can't do it. And now it's no big whoop. Again, when the Democrats did with the super delegates with Hillary Clinton, they act like it was the end of the world, even though Bernie Sanders was already losing and he was going to lose. It was the end of the world. And again, Bernie Sanders is not a part of the Democratic Party. So he shouldn't even be entitled to even run inside of the Democratic Party to begin with. But yeah, let's keep this going. Let me see. Shout out to Bold and Understanding for coming through with the 5. Yes, definitely noticed that. That's something I always brought up too, because a lot of them are mixed and they got a lot of anti-blackness in their heart, but they want to be able to express it without people attacking them. So they joined FBA, and all that anti-black vitriol they just directed at black immigrants. They directed at Africans. They directed at people in the Caribbean. That's how they get that off. But yeah, shout out to you for the 5. Family, make sure y'all shout out everybody who support the stream. Let's get back to this.
The DSA left, from my understanding, is and always has been pretty insufferable, for the same reasons that like non-electoral leftists on Twitter typically have a bad understanding of the system that they're meant to be like playing off of here. At our convention last year, we voted to pursue a presidential campaign with the Left Labor Coalition and attached that as a poll that's supposed to go out to the whole membership. The NPC voted not to send out the poll to everyone. Not entirely true, the previous comment. DSA's National Political Committee voted on an all-member poll and presidential endorsement, routing the decision through chapter liberation, potentially delaying it to the... Isn't this literally how the CIA is tries to destroy left organizing by pitching?
Look at this. Look at this. Conspiracy theory. He got a conspiracy theory. CIA. This ain't got nothing to do with the CIA. This got to do with the fact that the DSA is showing themselves. They showing who they really are.
Everything to committee. Isn't this like literally the blueprint, like textbook? Just everything has to be deliberated, everything has to be debated, never just get through something or directly decide on it. Everything has to be like masturbated over. That was a very inaccurate portrait. The DSA left is hostile to AOC, but instead of a national poll, they're kicking it to chapter polls that might disenfranchise less active members, but the decision to endorse or wait for the convention hasn't been decided. Can't we just do like one member, one vote? Head of NYC DSA is pissed. What? Over this? This is a different thing. Oh, no, wait. That's a different link. Sorry about that. Let me see. Is this Prince? Yeah, he's not a part of the Democratic Party. To be a Democrat, you have to be a member of the Democratic Party. He's not a Democrat. In fact, he got his seat running against a Democrat. He got his seat running as a what you call it? As an independent. He's not a Democrat.
being in coalition with the Democrats don't make you a Democrat. See, we can be in coalition. That don't mean I am you and you is me. That's all. Like Bernie Sanders is definitely in coalition with the Democrats, but he is not a Democrat. Neither is AOC. AOC is not a Democrat.
DSA's national leadership, the NPC, just voted to overturn our convention, took away rank and file's member to vote at all-member poll and presidential endorsement. The NPC is taking our members' rights away, while the NYC DSA members send them $2 million per year in dues. Man, organizing, huh?
Woo! Of course they took away your rights because they never liked you. It was all lies. It was all lies. You honestly think the people who really are like the core of the DSA, these are a bunch of class reductionists. They don't care about New York. They hate New York. New York doesn't represent what their vision for the future. Of course, they're going to use y'all for the bag. Of course, they're going to use y'all for clout. But otherwise than that, y'all nobody. That's it. That's it. Shout out to Light Wonder for coming through with 10 jewels. Salute. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. I don't even know what that is. 10 gold coins. I take it. I take it. I don't even know what that is, how much that is. I take it. All support is good support. Anyway, family, thank y'all for helping me get closer to my goal. We only 7 away.
Drama. I mean, it's pretty important. The DSA is literally like right now the light of American democracy. They do touch on this in Disco Elysium. That is.
Oh, look at that. Light Wonder came through, and now he just used the word light. That's how true it is. But let's keep it going.
It's true. Gustavo's lying. Good to see the dramas taking place here in my chat as well. The co-authors of the resolution containing a national poll say there was no requirement to do it. Okay. So what's the problem with one member, one vote? Exactly. The right wants an all-member poll online. The left wants a bigger debate in the question. There isn't a serious opposition to endorsing AOC. Why involve the debate? None other than it would disempower ultra-leftists. Yeah, who want to go up on stage and ramble because that's all they fucking do. They just want to talk and have people listen to them. The whole point of being like left DSA is forcing people to listen to you and then being ignored. That's the whole point. Why not just put it to a damn vote and move on? Is that their fetish, being listened to and then ignored? I mean, that's the fetish of every leftist. It's just like to varying extents. You know, these guys are the leftists. I consider myself a leftist, but like, holy shit, they hold up the debates. My contention with one member, one vote is that it makes deliberation extremely low quality. These sorts of important decisions should be made in moderated spaces where everyone's forced to be respectful and reasonable instead of Hitler.com. But like, hold on. Moderated forums aren't respectful and reasonable at all. They're masturbatory. The idea that like imposing an art, you're doing like the Dem argument. The idea that like imposing an environment of civility on the discussion improves the quality of the discourse. I disagree. I think that democracy is messy and you have to like hit people with a stick, you know? I know a lot of like DSA left people seem like morally opposed to the project of politics, like convincing people, vote whipping, you know? It's circle jerky. It's like, what's wrong with vote whipping? Isn't that the point? Isn't that democracy? It's supposed to be a democracy. I mean, they're mostly vanguardists and tankies. Well, they're also ultras. So what's the difference between left and right DSA? Left DSA is more broadly anti-electoral, and right DSA thinks that God Empress AOC can lead us to the promised land. That's a bit of a mistake. It's a bit of a mischaracterization. That's an extreme mischaracterization. But I'm saying it anyway. Like, this is exactly what I mean. Look at this. No one's reading this shit. I'm not reading it. Good Lord. Vosh embodying the illiteracy right now. No. I disagree with this for the same reason I disagree with forcing people to say yes to EULAs, right? Like terms and service agreements or whatever. I think that you should make arguments for or against the thing, and then you should vote on it. The problem is that if technocratic organizations are allowed to turn like this, everything turns into like Discord moderator stewardship, where like popular issues get reduced into the discourse between the most online people imaginable who have nothing better to do with their time than argue. Like stuff that would otherwise be settled very quickly and efficiently ends up getting relegated to nonstop discourse between people who have no lives and who genuinely just want to waste everyone's time because they want their tiny little micro niche arguments to be heard because it validates them.
Well, that sounds about right with the DSA. Again, you lefties are like terminally online. Like, again, that's another thing. Y'all thought I don't know how these people thought that they was ever going to like collapse the country through accelerationism by being accelerationists. They was going to collapse the country, and then they was going to rule over it. It's going to like how did you think that was going to work? Can't even do basic things like this right. But shout out to Percy in the building. Salute. This is nonsense. I'm gonna let him keep going. Oh, shout out to Flavor Genuine in the building. Exactly, 350 too diverse. And also it got to do with, like Voss said, it's a lot of losers who want to be heard. So they just want to, you know, they want to drag it out. They want to turn everything into a Discord debate. Make everything Reddit. But let's keep it going. Make everything a comment section.
The same type of people who email me and they send me like 80-page manifestos, and they're like, "Hey Vosh, I developed like a new theory of politics. Can you read this and let me know what you think?" You're describing democracy? No, I'm describing the death of democracy. Democracy is a public project. What I'm describing right now is a masturbatory like internet forum argument between a subset of the population that enjoys arguing more than they enjoy outcomes. That's not democracy. Having to keep up with this on top of your DSA working group and local chapter obligations and everything else going on in your life is unfortunately a burden that comes with being a member, because if you don't show up or weigh in on the national level stuff, you see the territory, which is why making everything overly complicated is anti-democratic, because it forces out the people who might have good opinions but who don't have the fucking time to spend 80 hours every week, like following the incredibly niche, microscopic details of the discourse, you know?
Yeah, that does make sense. Prince, you said what he mean by Nyko niche. The niches, like people like have niche issues. Like maybe somebody wants to like, let's talk about how we gotta protect squirrels or something like that. Like something small. Something like minute, something small. It doesn't even like really even matter. Who cares? It's like what's a good example? I don't even got a good example, but it's something like nonsensical that doesn't matter. It's like debating about, I don't even have a good example. Let me see. Yeah, I can't think of a good example because it's so stupid. It's like time wasting. It's so stupid and it's so like time wasting. It's like, imagine we having a conversation about I can't even think of a good example. I can't. It's just stupid. Shout out to Flavor Genuine. He said he just renewed his membership. Family, you can get your own membership if you go hit that join button. Salute to you, bro. Thank you for doing that. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. But yeah, it's something stupid. Yeah, it's like a niche issue. It's like debating like what kind of red, like what shade of red, something nonsense, and about the meanings associating with the red or whatever the case may be. Like, well, just something, just nonsense. Yes, definitely a W on his part. Shout out to Flavor Genuine again. Everybody salute him for renewing his membership. Make sure y'all get your own memberships and make sure y'all renew them. And if Justin March or anybody else gifted you a membership, make sure you renew that too. But yeah, let's get back to this. Because it's like, yeah, that was kind of like trying to think of an example. Couldn't really do it.
No? Like, this isn't politics as far as I'm concerned. The fucked up thing is a lot of this shit's probably true. It just doesn't matter. It is complicated. No one's making it overly complicated. You really don't think anyone involved here from the DSA left is making things overly complicated? There's a concern AOC might not uphold the DSA program. Yeah, but shouldn't that be settled in the vote? As a full-time worker, it feels like some of my DSA comrades are unemployed and have a lot more time to focus on this stuff than I. Yeah, and that's bad. That eventually leads to the org being like disproportionately controlled by the biggest no-lifers. This like destroys political causes. In conclusion, asynchronous voting is not democracy. It is a hollowed-out imitation in the tradition of the bourgeois liberal democracy, a system that cannot verify voters, does not foster deliberation, empowers the well-connected over the many, produces symbolic accountability, fails to develop organizers, and they have, look at this, man. This is over arguing whether they should hold a vote. Do you have any idea how many people you alienate just by framing your arguments this way? They're jerking off as they write this. They type this one-handed. I think it's better to move quickly and be right like 90% of the time than it is to hold everything up, be right 100% of the time, but it doesn't matter because you never actually made a decision anyway. Sorry, these are probably good people. It's just like I've experienced so many people like this, and it's genuinely exhausting. DSA's NPC votes against all-member polling, raising the question, what does democracy look like? I remember organizing with these types of people, great folks, but never doing that again. On Sunday, the DSA's leading body, the National Political Committee, voted against a proposal to send out a non-binding all-member poll. Like, why vote against a non-binding poll? Is it really that bad? Is it really that bad to at least collect the data on what people want? To gauge whether the organization's membership supports pursuing a national endorsement in the upcoming presidential election. It really feels like the only reason you would prevent a non-binding poll from being sent out is if you want to ignore the reality that most people in the DSA are in favor of supporting AOC. Like, they don't want to expose the fact that their position is unpopular. So instead, everything has to go through like a year of deliberation before we eventually reach the same conclusion anyway. A question that in practice revolves around endorsing the insurgent Democratic Congresswoman, DSA member, and 2028 hopeful AOC. Instead, the NPC approved a proposal centered on chapter-level voting that will require additional deliberation before an organizational decision's made. DSA staff member Michael Grichowski remarked that they have, quote, never seen this many members registered for an NPC meeting to observe Sunday's meeting, a measure of how central the endorsement question is to organization's political life. Ultimately, the result was a vote to postpone the question, potentially until the August 2027 convention, really more than a year out. Oh yeah, no, we'll send out a non-binding member poll on whether or not people are interested in supporting AOC. Let's do it after AOC could potentially start a race. Jesus Christ.
Yep. Again, it's because they don't want AOC. Nobody's this stupid. Yeah, it's a lot of clout chasing in it. Yeah, it's a lot of I want to be seen, I want to be heard. But yes, it's a lot of racism in it. No, we not stupid. Shout out to RBG for the win, for coming through with the 199 sticker. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Much appreciated, bro. Much appreciated. Thank you for all your support. But that's what this ultimately comes down to.
Many critics have noted such delay could cost precious time to mobilize mass energy around AOC's anticipated presidential run, and that the organization must be prepared ahead of time to endorse her as soon as her campaign formally begins. The poll would likely lead to a strong majority for AOC, which may be exactly why certain elements in the NPC who are opposed to endorsing her also oppose the poll. So this is literally anti-democratic. You all realize that, right? The refusal to solicit people's opinions in a non-binding poll means you don't want to hear it's like how the Democratic Party didn't do polling on whether or not people's positions on Gaza kept them from voting for Kamala Harris. They understand that the public opinion will make them look really bad, so they don't even want to solicit the public opinion. This is the makeup of the NPC, by the way. The left DSA is dominant, which explains why they don't want to allow members to vote. Yep. The committee is made up of 27 members, and half the slots are reserved for women. How progressive. They probably resent the fact that the organization's been flooded with a bunch of right DSA. We're going to end up with a Vanguard Party situation again. What would your opinion on this be? An endorsement of AOC? I don't even like AOC. But blocking a non-binding poll until 2027 is psychotic. It's anti-democratic. It does nothing but foster resentment and hold up the organization and disenfranchise the vast majority of the people in the party, because the left DSA just doesn't want to be reminded that they have a glut of new right DSA members who came in following their success with Mamdani. Like, obviously, people who joined DSA after Mamdani's election are going to be largely right DSA because they just saw an example of political participation in the electoral process being hugely effective. They did not block a poll. They blocked a poll being sent by email. Instead, the poll will be administered by chapters. Why?
Yep. Of course they sabotaging them. Like I said, was going to happen. They are the enemy, bro. They are the enemy. And you're right. He's the least racist lefty. Least racist. You said you knew here. Why are we listening to Vosh? We listening to Vosh because this is important. This is about vindicating me about what I said about these lefties and how they're really just a bunch of class reductionists. And they feel the same way about black identity politics as the conservatives. So they are the enemy. You're welcome. Let's keep it going.
It's non-binding. They're just soliciting opinions. Also, they're potentially blocking it till after an August 2027 convention discussion. That's blocking the poll. Unless I'm misunderstanding this, are you saying that like it's known that they would send out the poll within like a couple of weeks or months or something? Like what if it's potentially delayed until August 2027? It seems like that discussion is just not going to be had in time. What could have been an opportunity to involve mass membership and take a proactive, prepared approach to what could have been the most important race in DSA's history instead resulted in widespread membership frustration with the organization's ability to adequately meet the 2028 moment. No, the convention will be for endorsement. The polls will happen beforehand. They want to make the decision to endorse at convention. Well, that might be too late. August 2027 is going to be after campaigning kicks off, for one. And for two, like, when will the poll be sent out then? Historically, presidential candidates have declared their candidacy at the beginning of the year prior to the election. This means that if AOC were to declare her candidacy in January or February of 2027 and DSA were to wait until the convention, there would be at least 6 months between the commencement of her campaign and DSA's formal involvement. Such a gap may result in the introduction of opportunistic political actors to guide the affairs of her campaign in less than desirable directions from the perspective of organized socialism, isolating DSA from political moment. It's obviously a strategic mistake to wait until August 2027 for the endorsement. If they endorse, which they probably will. You think DSA endorses AOC over Ro Khanna? Yeah, I mean, AOC is like a member, or at least heavily associated. This will also slow down any endorsement outside of her too. Like, I do not think there's any real reason for blocking the non-binding poll except ignoring the writing on the wall that the right DSA is the overwhelming majority in this case. Caucuses like Bread and Roses also voted with the left because, unfortunately, the right-wing caucuses are just as obnoxious as the left. They went crazy over this vote. But what's wrong with just having the vote? Like, what's the argument against the vote? Okay, sorry. I know we just ignored a bunch of arguments against the vote, but I think that the format with which these arguments have been presented is evidence to the point that the vote should be held. I think this is a kind of tedious, like, death by...
Yep. This is the lefties who I'm happy I'm covering this because I wanted to show people. This is my whole point. Those lefties that y'all follow behind, some of y'all black lefties that y'all been following behind, this is who they really are. You sacrifice black people for no reason. Because a lot of you black lefties was trying to follow behind these white lefties. That's why you didn't support, what's her name? Hillary Clinton. This is why you didn't want to support and vote for Kamala Harris. Same thing with Hillary Clinton. And now look at us. 160 years of black progress went up in smoke. And what do we have to show for it? This. Shout out to Starbright for coming through with 30 jewels. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Everybody shout out everybody who's make sure y'all shouting out the people supporting the stream. Make sure y'all saluting them. Yeah, let's keep it going.
Liberation style approach to internal politics that proves the point that the only real reason you would want to block the poll is because you want your intellectual masturbation to take political priority and get social accolades over the reality that most of the people in the DSA would support the endorsement of AOC. Spiritually Israeli. Okay, hold on. A reminder of how the DSA right is being shitheads? What do you mean? The DSA right? AOC got a higher percentage of the vote in her primary than this year's DSA endorsement vote. How is this the DSA right being shitheads? Over 1,000 DSA members have signed on to tell the NPC they want a voice in how and who DSA endorses for president in 2028. I'm not a DSA member, but I co-sign. So did the DSA right see AOC as a god empress? Listen, we're not talking about her endorsement right now. We're talking about an internal poll that would be used to see how many people inside the DSA support AOC. It's non-binding. It's not an endorsement. The only reason, like, polling data is really, really, really important for longitudinal reasons, if nothing else. You want to see if people's opinions change over time. Like, it might be useful information if right now, like, 85% of DSA supports her, but like 6 months from now, 75% supports. That's important information. It's a non-binding poll. It should be held. I don't care if it's held over email asynchronously. Like, that does not, it's anyone who's a member of the DSA, as far as I'm concerned, is qualified to share their opinion here. Like, this is exactly what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to assume a left DSA member right here who's saying that the reason they don't want to hold that poll is because they don't like AOC. It's fine to not like AOC. I don't like AOC, but blocking the fucking non-binding poll is not how you do that. Like, you're not arguing.
See. What do you mean? Ain't about that. First of all, I'm black. I don't know if you know this. I do black identity politics. The Democratic Party is not the same as the Republican Party or none of the other lefties. For the last 60 years, all black progress has come via the Democratic Party. Like, let's not play games here. It's come via the Democratic Party. The highest standard of living black people have ever had in this country came via the Democratic Party. If you add up everybody else's standard, or every other generation of black people standing to living and opportunities and rights and privileges compared to where we was at when, let's say, when Barack Obama was president or even Joe Biden was president, it's higher than everything else combined. Higher than everything else combined. So we will not allow this Democrat, Republican, same side of the two bird. No, white people can talk like that. That's cool. Other groups want to talk like that. That's cool. But as a black person, I cannot talk like that. I cannot talk like that. Like that's what it is. Like no, he didn't. No, he didn't. And again, he wasn't president. Like, see, this is nonsense. What you're talking about is the 94 crime bill. A 94 crime bill that the Democrats had the best version. Again, there was going to see, you're stupid. Matter of fact, I don't mean to call you stupid, but again, you're uninformed. There was going to be a crime bill in 94. The Republican option was 1,000 times worse than the Democratic option. On top of that, black people supported it. This is again the nonsense. Black people supported it. The super majority of black people supported the 94 crime bill. Okay, I guess I could put you on timeout because you're saying I'm mad, but you're stupid. I'm definitely calling you stupid now. Because again, you're missing the point. It doesn't matter. What would the Republican option was worse. And again, all black progress has come via the Democratic Party. It wouldn't matter to me if I gave the Democrats score on black people an overall 87. I'm not gonna make the good the enemy of the perfect. Who cares? Because the Republican score is negative 2,000. If I gotta choose between negative 2,000 and 87, I'm taking the 87. If I gotta choose between negative 2,000 and 7, I'm taking the 7. It's just that simple. This whole both parties are equally bad. I don't remember the Democratic Party trying to stop black people from getting reparations. I don't remember the Democratic Party wiping out black representation. I don't remember the Democratic Party pushing Project 2025. I don't remember none of this. I don't remember the Democratic Party putting open white nationalists in positions of power to do racist things. I don't remember the Democratic Party taking the civil rights W's and trying to use them to attack black people. I don't remember the Democratic Party being anti-DEI. I don't remember none of this. I don't. But if you got something to say, let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. I put you on timeout a little bit because you was trying to troll, and I wasn't doing that. But you can come back and let us know. Leah, let's keep going.
Arguing against the endorsement of AOC, if you were just arguing that, you would simply vote no on the poll that gets sent out. You're trying to argue nobody else should get to say what their opinion is. This is DNC shit. It's the same. It's how you subvert a democratic movement by subjecting it to the whims of an insular technocratic elite who think that...
Nope, this is not DNC shit. Wrong. This is DSA shit. This is what y'all doing. DSA. This ain't got nothing to do with the Democratic Party. Y'all was mad because the Democrats didn't let y'all come in and troll. That's basically what y'all was doing with Bernie Sanders. It was trolling. Wasn't serious, and you're mad. Shout out to Starbright for coming through with the $9.99. Much appreciated. Help me get one more step closer to my goal. Make sure everybody shout out Starbright. Came through with some jewels and now came through with a super chat. Much appreciated. Let's keep it going.
They know better. It's Vanguard shit. But a lot of these people like Vanguard shit. The claim that asynchronous voting is more democratic or more representative fails under scrutiny. In practice, asynchronous voting empowers those with access to resources at the expense of those without. Under asynchronous voting, the number of online voters can be 2 or 3 times the number of meeting attendees. This is literally self-contradictory. The idea that asynchronous voting allows more people to participate is the opposite of arguing that asynchronous voting benefits the people with more resources. Winning requires aggressive vote whipping by political insiders, text calls and messages reaching isolated members. This is as opposed to a fucking year-and-a-half postponed Democratic forum where only the people who show up and deliberate get their voices heard. They're literally against vote whipping. They're just against democracy. How they think this is a good argument. This is what I mean. If I hone in on one point and this one point is insane, I'm not going to take the whole document seriously. Intellectual masturbation. The idea that it is more populist to not hold a non-binding poll, but delay a year and a half and subject everyone to hours and hours and hours of in-person deliberation, and this somehow involves more people and is more democratic than just letting people do a non-binding poll, ridiculous. As Francis R. puts it in The Call, fuck off. They're afraid of right DSA vote whipping. Dog, the right DSA wouldn't even have to whip votes. They're already in the majority. On this issue, people will support AOC. That is where the numbers are going to go. The reason they're holding is because they know they're going to lose. The biggest red flag for me is that any one of these positions, when they signal they feel they know what's best for people in the org better than the people do, it's all over shit like this. The dripping, arrogant contempt of somebody who thinks that they're smarter than the people who disagree with them. Now, look, there's nothing wrong with thinking you're smarter than people who you disagree with. I think that all the time. But if you're trying to hold up a non-binding poll, hold up just a show of support, oh, no. You're not ready to tell the world how you feel about this issue. We need to wait a year and a half to like really make our case. No. Vote whipping? That's anti-democratic. Yeah, no, you can feel the contempt, which is counter to the interests of this organization. Milo 808, watch me add. Watch me double it. Double it, give it to the next guy. Double it, give it to the same guy. The polls are still happening? Okay, but like what? Chapter local? Why not a national poll? It would be a national race. AOC would be a national candidate if she ran for president. Why not just do an email poll? It's just chapter polls that won't take till 2027. Yeah, but they're still holding it up. Why chapter polling? Why not just do a national poll? Trying to claim election security issues, literally GOP argument. Is email voting secure? It's fine. I don't get it. Is your critique of AOC that she's too young? Can you elaborate? What? You watch my streams often enough that you know perfectly well what I dislike about her. Quit trying to bait my attention. The org doesn't seem to believe in centralization. If the org is serious about potentially committing its resources to supporting a presidential run, it will need to be centralized. It will need to run as a national organization. We can't do this chapter leadership bullshit when we're talking about supporting a presidential candidate. This is actually so retarded, it's making me reconsider want to join support the DSA. Then you're being retarded. The idea that like you see the most promising democratic political organization in America and you see some infighting and you're like, well, steering clear of that, I'm going to just do nothing then, when you could join it and be part of the good half of the movement. Come on, the loser mentality. Sorry, not to be like me or whatever. It's just that sentiment really pisses me off. Ro Khanna or AOC, who's your pick? Ro Khanna. But if the DSA throws their weight behind AOC, we'll see how it goes in the primaries, and I might support her. I would certainly vote for AOC if she ended up being the general pick against whatever, JD Vance. AOC is definitely to the left of Ro Khanna. I just feel like Ro Khanna, A, would probably have a better shot, maybe. And B, I feel like Ro Khanna has more balls. Ro Khanna has bigger stones. You should join it where they crucify you. I like the DSA. I advocate for people to join it, but my joining it would literally just cause infighting. Like literally, a ton of the people in the DSA hate me. I do not think my joining would be good for the DSA. It would cause problems, which is unfortunate. Just joined DSA, went to a new member orientation this past weekend. Nice, yeah. It's a real group. It's a real organization. It really runs. I mean, you could just join privately and pay dues. I'm a public figure. I would not. I'm not only am I a public figure. My name, not my real name, my online handle is probably known to a significant number of people in the DSA. There wouldn't really be a point to me joining if I'm just pitching $5 a month or something. Like, I would be found out. It would be like, there's no being a quiet.
Yeah, this is dumb. The DSA is dumb. The lefties are dumb. They can't do anything right, but they criticize the Democratic Party. Like another L for the lefties. Another L for the lefties. I'm gonna let him finish this up, but I just wanted to show y'all this. Another L for the lefties. They can't do anything right.
Remember, you know, they'd call me out. There'd be people arguing to have my expulsion put on the.
Excuse me. They can't do anything constructive right. Like, again, they can destroy something. They can get you to convince you not to go against your best interest. They can convince you to go against your best interest. They can do that. But as far as doing something right, nah.
They would genuinely, there would be like initiatives, waste a lot of people's time. Don't mention me if you join the DSA. Well, all right. I guess I'm with the right DSA on this. I'm usually with the right DSA for the most part. Not even because I like AOC. I don't like AOC. Just you have to do something. It's like when you're in a group and nobody can decide what restaurant to go to. It's better to go to a restaurant that's kind of mid than for nobody to ever go to a restaurant because everyone was just stuck deliberating forever. Forward motion is always good. You know, you want to always be moving forward and refine the angle, you know, refine the angle of your movement. You don't want to stop and deliberate forever. I don't know, Connor. If your membership card got lost, you should fucking email them for sure. Framing it as right versus left DSA feels like it poisons the well, and which position is better as a leftist. I agree. I feel like the left versus right DSA was obviously made up by the left DSA. Like
that's good. That's smart. That's smart.
Technically true, but obviously semantically, people are going to frame the right within the DSA as the bad ones because the DSA is a leftist organization. It would probably be better to say electoral versus non-electoral DSA, but even that's a simplification. Of course, right and left DSA are simplifications too. So it's not like you're, obscuring meaning if you do that. Not left, not right, but forward. Exactly.
All right, that was enough of that. I just wanted to get that out the way. Shout out to everybody in the building, just to prove my point on that. But yeah, it's late. I gotta go. But before we go, we're gonna do this. I was gonna save this, but I feel like I should do this now. Shout out to everybody in the building. Matter of fact, oh, my audio cut out. Matter of fact, we're gonna save this. That's right. I should save it. I just thought about it. Yes, I should save it. So yeah, family, we about to wrap this up. I'm gonna start. I'm making it my business to get home as fast as I can, and I want to start at 6:30 tomorrow. 6 o'clock, 6:30. But anyway, let me end this here. Family, thanks everybody who came through for supporting any way they could. Much appreciated. But now we got to do our shout outs. Shout out to Milton for coming through with the 10, setting it off with the 10. Shout out to Damu Dino for coming through on the Cash App with the 25. Much appreciated. Family, if you want to support the stream, best way to do it, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. I take it all. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuts. And you can tell me whether you want a shout out or not. And you could tell me like, hey, I want you to read the comment. Hey, shout me out. Hey, say the amount. Hey, don't say the amount. Hey, just don't say my name. Whatever the case may be, just let me know. Shout out to East Coast Kev for coming through with a 5. Much appreciated. One of my long-term moderators. Shout out to McKinsley for coming through with the Canadian 2. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week. Shout out to the East Coast Kev for doubling up. Shout out with the 5. Shout out to Milton for doubling up with the 10. Shout out to Justin March, my first moderator, for coming through with the 20 gifted memberships. Family, Justin March gifted you a membership. Make sure you keep it going and make sure you thank him. And make sure you salute everybody who's participated in donating tonight. Shout out to McKinsley for coming through with another Canadian 2. Shout out to the Visionary for coming through with 199. Much appreciated. Shout out to 350 Yo for coming through with 30 jewels. Now I can see gifts up here now. So as you can see, I got the gifts. Shout out to Romario for coming through with the 5. Shout out to Lord of Slaughter for coming through with the 499. Shout out to AKW Beats for coming through with 100 jewels. Shout out to Urban Palmer for coming through with 30 jewels. Shout out to Starbright for coming through with 30 jewels. Shout out to Red Pill Zulu for coming through with 20. Shout out to the Visionary for coming through with the 199. Shout out to AKW Beats for coming through with the 10 jewels. Much appreciated. I don't even know how much that is, but a whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns. I don't even know what jewels do. Shout out to Justin March, first moderator, coming through with the 2, helping me get closer to my goal. Shout out to the Hood Mistress for coming through with 2 jewels. Appreciate it. 100. You already know. Shout out to Bold and Understanding for coming through with the 5. Shout out to Light Wonder for coming through with the 10 gold coins. I don't know if that's different than the jewels, but much appreciated. Shout out to Flavor Genuine for renewing his membership. Much appreciated with that, family. Like I said, keep the memberships going. Shout out to RBG for the win for coming through with the 199 super sticker. Shout out to Starbright for coming through with 30 jewels. And shout out to Starbright again for coming through with $9.99. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Family, I will see y'all early. I promise I'll try to get here like at least 6:30 so we can make sure everybody's in the building. Shout out to Lee D. Clinton in the building. I saw you sent me a comment. I don't remember what you sent me a comment about, but it was about doing a video on a certain topic. I don't remember. I'm gonna go look for that comment again. But if you can, email me or hit me up on any social media site and let me know. My DMs is always open. Let me know. Shout out to the Black Adam in the building. Shout out to Jackie Thomas in the building. Much appreciated. But yeah, we out of here. And you already know RBG, red, black, and green. So yes, I'll see y'all at 6 Eastern PM, 6:30, Lord willing. And you know, on that note, family, we out of here. Peace. And oh yeah, go subscribe to all my other channels. Go subscribe to all my other channels. I got 3 channels. Go subscribe to all of them. Go subscribe to all of them. It's right here. Go subscribe to all of them. There we go. Oh, I didn't see this comment. Yeah, that 94 Crown Bill situation was a painful fact, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's get out. Let me get out of here. Oh, yep, copy. So yeah, peace. And also, thanks to everybody who came through with the fire emojis. I gotta say that. Thanks to everybody who came through with the fire emojis. Thanks to everybody who came through with a like. Thanks to everybody who viewed the stream, who shared the stream, everything. All support is good support. If you hit that reaction heart, I appreciate it all. Because remember, I'm outside of the algorithm. The only way to get me back into the algorithm is with engagement. So I appreciate all engagement. Even a regular comment, you just drop in a comment like this, like peace. That helps. Shout out to the Black Adam again. But yeah, I'm out of here. So yeah, peace, everybody.